I had a story
Trash to
about that
Cash
too.
Swingcast, episode 100. And what, does anyone know what episode we're on?
Yeah,
150
like
50.
something?
I'm gonna say
170,
55. That's one of
50.
my guesses.
My guess,
155.
yeah,
Yeah.
that one.
We've
I don't know if
got
that's
Dave
right.
here. I'm Dave. With me, as always, is Kevin, the Commonwealthy Picker. And down below, we've brought in the one and only Florida Man. Welcome, Florida Man. Anything to
Yes, well,
report from Florida?
I'm in Utah, so the
Oh.
weather has not hit us in Florida yet, from what I understand.
Yes, dude, the weather. I mean, listen, we try not to talk too much about current events, but it's crazy. Some of the stuff that's happening in
Dude,
North Carolina right
I
now.
know
Like, I've been there to
You weren't
Chimney
near
Rock and stuff.
Asheville,
No, but I've been there. I've been there. It's like,
Tennessee too. Like
mm-hmm.
the
Tina's
Virginia?
cooling and
family
all.
lives. Tina's
I
family
was wondering
lives
if
in
I hadn't
Tennessee.
heard
There.
anything, but I figured you were
Western.
okay, Kev. Yeah.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
there's been tornado warnings and watches, and there's down my buddy
Crazy.
Pinjo. There's like some touchdown down there about an hour south, 45 minutes south.
It's really motivated me to consider downsizing and downgrading my house, because if I'm gonna have a total loss, it might as well be a less expensive house.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
don't you have insurance?
yeah, but Kevin, you don't understand how insurance works in Florida. It's actually
Oh.
probably better for the North Carolina people, but probably not, because they probably don't have flood insurance, and that is a
Mhm.
separate thing. And
Mhm.
I do not have flood insurance because it is a separate expensive thing. And
Mhm.
also, even if you have hurricane insurance, it's like a percentage. It's not like your normal. You maybe you have a $500 deductible. Your hurricane deductible is like 20%. Right,
Mhm.
so it's like, oh, we have a total loss $500,000 house, so you're going to get $400,000. It's like that ridiculous. So yeah, it's just the whole thing is like, it's not good, man. People's houses are gone.
That's why you
Dude,
should
it's
rent.
wild. Yes.
Well, Carrie's gonna rent. I was just
Yeah.
thinking, I was like, I should just move in with Carrie and Dawn. We'll split the
Yeah.
rent.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. We'll have Al be our landlord.
Yeah.
You'll love that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a little commune.
No, that
A
probably
little
wouldn't
commune
go that
down
well.
there.
Anyways, hi guys.
eBay's
Haven't talked
dead
to you.
anyway,
This is late.
so-
eBay is
Yeah,
dead.
eBay's over. But we've been warned for years from the players of the Profit Playbook Profitable Podcast
Profitable
or whatever.
Playbook Podcast.
Yeah, they've been saying that whatever, like, what was the name? Luna. What was the name of the
Krylov. Yeah,
Krylov. Yeah, it finally took over.
Yep, that's right.
Cry love.
No.
The cry is it's essential.
Yeah.
To that. The cry. love.
Yes,
Cry
exactly.
love. So, yeah, eBay has not been great for I don't think for most people. Kevin was just telling me it sounded like $100 a day or something, which is weird.
No, that's not what I said.
What'd
I
you
said
say?
I've had 2 slow days in a row, and they sold
I think it was $100 an hour.
$177.20. 2 straight days. That is really.
But
odd.
see,
But
I
the day
feel like
before
you
was
can't
$719,
you can't really ignore
It's like-
current
and then
events.
1,039. So
You can't ignore current
Not
events
bad.
with all this stuff, right? I mean, that's got to be affecting people's attention. Maybe they're
No.
not like thinking, "Ooh, let me go buy a He-Man action figure."
It's
right
just
now," 'cause
hard.
they're
It's also hard to
distracted
feel
by
for Kevin. It's
missing
hard to,
family members.
it's like
I
Lord
wasn't asking for
Farquaad complaining.
sympathy.
Yeah.
I was just saying I had 2 slow days, but a lot of people that buy from around here, and those are the affected areas too. So hey.
Yeah. I think that is, I think you have to pay attention to that. Same with like YouTube
And it's
views.
killed
My
the
YouTube views were
sourcing.
down on Friday and Saturday big
Yeah.
time, and I just think that's people. I mean, even
Football,
I myself found myself deep diving on TikTok, like all this hurricane footage, right? I probably watched, I don't know, 3 hours of hurricane footage over the last 2 days. Like, not because I wanted to. That's what the algorithm told me to do.
Well, once you watch one, and then there's just that's how the algorithm works. You have 2 days of your algorithm that's not dancing women.
Ever
It's just gonna
since
be
I
hurricane
looked up
stuff.
baby oil, I've been fed nothing but P Diddy stuff.
He's getting nothing.
I'm not kidding you.
I
It's
mean,
like,
I
dude,
always
what is
assumed
this
your
crap?
TikTok was heavy freak
I don't
off,
watch
but
TikTok.
I get
The only
either
time
the
I-
P. Diddy stuff or I get the videos saying the reason you're seeing so much P. Diddy stuff is because they're trying to distract you from the owners of 23andMe stepping down because they're cloning you. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'd rather hear the P. Diddy stuff.
I don't need to hear about any current events because every day Don shows me copious amounts of TikToks, making sure I know what's happening. Usually in stuff
The
that is
news
like I don't know,
from the
like
Chinese.
I always go to Don. I'm like, I guess it's interesting, but does this affect
Bread
us
and
in any way?
circuses.
Why do I need to know this?
Well, now you know it.
Now I
I'm
do.
still watching car dealer TikTok most of my day.
Yeah.
Just people making trade-in deals. I don't know. I like to root against the seller.
Why do you? The only time I watch TikTok is when I go to TikTok to load a video and they start feeding you stuff immediately. It's like, oh my god.
Do you not poop? What are you doing here?
Are you
I
not
don't do
pooping?
TikTok. When I'm
Are you just doing
No.
shampoo bottles? Old school?
Kevin's playing Bejeweled on his phone.
Is that what
No.
they're
He's got
calling
the
it nowadays?
subscription. Actually,
he
Kevin
playing-
has the little
is
old
he playing-
handheld Bejeweled.
Is he playing
It's-
handheld Snake? What is he playing?
Yeah.
Not
Oh, yeah,
very
definitely playing that.
demure to talk about what you do in the restroom. No.
Yeah, that's true. Oh,
That's true.
dude,
That is
speaking of a
true.
restroom, I went and saw a movie I hated today, Carrie. Kevin, you won't
Restroom?
care.
Dude,
But
you
yeah,
saw another one.
no, yeah, Speak No Evil or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Remember
That
that one
looked
where the
terrible. You were
trail-
really
oh my
hard
God.
up to go see that. The whole
Tina wanted
trailer
to see
told
it.
you everything.
Tina wanted to see it, but yeah, dude, the fact how much the trailer shows you literally
Yeah.
ruins the whole movie.
Yeah, James
Because-
McAvoy is upset and he wants to kill you.
And dude,
There,
what's
that's the
crazy is
movie.
like that literally is in the trailer. That's not even a spoiler. And you're
Yeah.
waiting for that to happen. The first hour and 25 minutes, it hasn't happened. It's just all that build up kind of leading you to believe, oh, maybe he's a bad guy. And then the last 15 minutes is what you don't know. What happens? It's so dumb. I really hated it.
It's never a good sign for a movie if they tell you everything or show you everything. It's because the movie sucks.
And again, the other bad thing is he's driving a Tesla. The family's driving a Tesla, and they're going to meet James McAvoy, who lives up in the middle of nowhere in Ireland. And it's a super long drive. They leave at sunset. They get there at sundown.
This is
in
not
their
a
Tesla.
secret episode.
Hold on. No,
Just
this is a
want you to
Tesla
know.
thing. This is a Tesla thing, which is a reselling thing because people are
Tesla-
reselling
Tesla,
Cyber Beast
people-
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can always bring it back around, Kevin.
This
We're
is
gonna get to the
reselling
Cyber
related,
Beast
Kevin.
flipping market in a second. Don't worry. You gotta buy them in Jersey. There's no sales tax, okay? So you can get them for $122.5, and then you bring them to different states and you upsell them.
There
okay?
you
So
go.
gotta buy
See,
'em in
there you
Jersey.
go. Now
Cybertrucks.
get back to the story. Now that
Okay.
we've appeased
They're
Kevin.
selling for around $129 to $132, so you end up making about $8,000. Not bad. Not a bad flip
It's
if you
not
have your
bad at all,
Cybertruck reserve,
honestly.
but you gotta pick it up in Jersey. Anyways,
Yes.
so they're driving a Tesla all the way up to Northern Ireland, a 12-hour trip. He gets there, he's like, oh, finally, we're out of the car. Parks his Tesla, goes inside. They're in the middle of
Tesla,
rural
where
farmland.
there is a flipping market for. You just
So-
can't fill it up with gas yourself in
Well-
Jersey. They have to have some unattended do it.
And don't forget, he literally just drove all day with this Tesla, which doesn't work, as
Yeah.
Brian Big and Fun will attest to. You can go about 4 or 5 hours, maybe
30
probably 3.
seconds max.
And then like there's this all this stuff's going on, and still several times throughout the movie, obviously this guy has no or Tesla charger. They go back in their car, and every time the little screen says full battery. It bothered me.
Yeah, why would you take a
bothered me. Full
Tesla
battery.
up into the
How are they
country
charging
to
that?
somebody's house you don't even barely know without any? I don't think like in northern, like in the country in Ireland, they got Tesla charging stations.
No, well, see, everyone that owns a Tesla always says, "Oh, it's a great commuter," and that's true. It's good to drive in town to your job, drive it home, plug it in at your house. It's fine. It's fine. It's like
Yeah.
your golf cart. It's like literally,
Yeah.
it's like your golf.
It's just
cart.
like a
Fine.
golf cart that costs a lot of money and that they could shut down at any moment for whatever reason they feel
I will
like.
say I don't like if you go on the Tesla website, because I was on there today, because of course I was shopping Teslas, because why not?
Why are you shopping Teslas?
I was just curious what they cost now. And what's crazy is if you go there, it says like a price. It'll say $29.9, and then under it in like little fine print it says this includes tax credits and $5,000 in gas savings you'll receive over 5 years of using the vehicle.
Oh wow, that's gosh.
And I'm like, how can we do this on eBay? Like, just mark it cheaper, but actually charge them more and say, oh, you're going to save that because you bought it on eBay. Yeah.
We saw a Tesla today, and like I don't know which model it is, but the doors go up like DeLorean
I think
style
that's a Y.
into like a T shape,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And we're like, that's so like, what if you get in a wreck in that it ain't opening,
Well, that's
and
when
then
the
you're stuck in
Lambos
the
work.
car. Yeah, but I'm not in a Lambo market, so I don't know that.
Kevin, there's a Lambo. You might be interested in this.
Yeah,
as
Kevin,
a financially
get another Lambo.
well-off fellow. $305K for sale in my town, right down the road. So if you're interested, I could set up a meeting. You could
I
talk
don't
to
want
him.
to land.
Only 700
You think
miles
I
on it.
would buy it? I would never.
Kevin,
buy
with your
that.
midlife crisis, yes, I think you
No,
would buy a
I
Lambo.
know. I
Can
don't.
we talk
I don't.
midlife crisis?
Have you
This
dyed
is
your
a Trash
hair,
to Cash
Dave, or did you
podcast.
just cut your hair? Because I feel
I
like
got a
you're...
haircut. I got a
Okay,
haircut.
good.
Okay, so I had my birthday party yesterday,
Happy
Yes.
birthday!
And I got
Dave.
some
I
gifts.
missed my
Dave.
day.
and I've
Dave,
decided my
Now we
family
have
is a
finally
bunch
we
of
have two
comedians.
40-year-olds on the podcast. I'm glad I'm not alone anymore.
Yeah, 240s and an octogenarian. Okay, so I thought you guys might appreciate my family's comedy because, I had my cousins all come over and they all got me gifts. And I don't know if they talk to each other, if this just happens on your 40th, Kevin. Is that what happens?
What
got
happens?
the medical
Oh, yeah.
alert whistle.
Oh,
old fart
good,
approved.
good,
That is
good,
a
good.
giant whistle.
Well, it's a little hard to see things. Okay, let's see. What else did I get here? I got this from Joe. It's a prescription thing. And if you open it up... Oops,
Joe.
Drop my headphones here. It is the...
Philly Picker.
No, my cousin. The old fartamins. The old fartamins. World's best remedy for miserable old farts. To combat symptoms of fuddy-duddiness, effective relief from grumpy bones, constant moaning, unsolicited storytelling, and sudden gray hairs.
Dude, that's
So
Kevin.
That's actually. I wonder what's that. There's actually something in here. I don't know what it is. Oh, they're jelly bellies. Okay. So
Dave is 40. Hey, you were 40. Did you see the nice compliment on last week's episode? Said all three of us were looking handsome and wonderful.
We are handsome. I got the memory mints for senior moments, extra strong. And no, I didn't see that, Kevin, but it makes sense because we are very handsome. I get free
Did you get
Baja
blue
Blast
pills?
every time I go to Taco Bell.
My wife let me go to. I better not bring this.
Kevin
up.
just said yes to the blue pill question.
Yes, Kevin has blue pills. He probably.
I got a candle. It's from a well-known shop. Hold on, Back in Body Hurts. You heard of it?
Yeah.
Cheesiest.
This is the gifts for Dave.
Yeah, the gifts for Dave. They were funny. I thought they were funny. Oh, one more. Oh, I also got a cane with like a little horn on it and a mirror. You know,
and a mirror.
But I also got these, which actually fit in with the Trash Cash podcast. Hold on, I think it's on the other side where it says, the Utto emergency underpants, one pair.
Dude, you need to actually, is that actually a pair of underpants?
I don't know. Let's open it up. I'm curious. Is this really underwear?
Bring that with.
I want to know how they fit underwear in here.
You should keister that around, and if you ever need it.
Wait 1 second.
Yeah,
we're gonna see if it's really underpants. Emergency underpants. If this is a thing, then I'm gonna buy about like a 36 pack, I think, and then just have them on me. Bro, I think it is underpants.
Have them in you. Yeah. Oh, dude. They really are. Dude.
Okay, wait. Look at this. Okay, these are kind of like the little sock footies.
Oh, look at that.
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
Oh, look at that. Oh.
If I had these in the poo train, I could have either worn them or I could have wiped them. This is such
By the way,
a good
that
idea.
reminds
How
me.
much are
I
these?
did get to the end of that episode, and Carrie talking about Dave going back to find the. Did you really put him behind the mirror?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude! What in the world? Oh,
Kevin finally 2 months later listened to the
2 months later
episode.
Knows Dave's dark secret.
No, I never listened to that one. I heard Carrie giving you the.
Oh, dude, you missed so much. How did you not listen to that one? It's like one of our greatest moments of Trash to Cash.
I'm going to be listening to a lot of it in the future.
The problem is Kevin doesn't really do the work anymore. I bet Heather would have had time to listen.
No, that's what I want to talk about because that's what I got to do. I'm losing Bubba's fiance as a Dibdit / Commons packer.
Why?
Because she got a job.
Ew, why? Job.
Why didn't you just pay her a little bit more? Why didn't you just maybe pay her a competitive wage?
Yeah, Kevin's
paying.
You
can give away all. What? No.
I don't know.
What do you think I pay?
I kind of want to send your family a letter about unionizing. I think that might be a good idea.
I think that's a good idea. She could go on the dock workers strike.
Okay.
Or something. Current events.
So you're not gonna get somebody to replace. Bubba's girlfriend?
Well, no. My wife's been doing quite a bit.
Is
lately,
Bubba opening to having 2 girlfriends? One that works for you and one that has.
He
a
is
job.
my son.
Carrie could teach him the ways of Mormonism.
Yeah, dude. Did you see the picture?
You were at like the Mormon theme park today.
Yeah, it was Lagoon. Lagoon has a little area called Pioneer Village, which we're famous for having Mormon pioneers. And one of the exhibits is the Mormon Furniture Museum in the middle of a theme park.
What do you mean we? You can't say we anymore, dude.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Here it is.
Mormon furniture.
Yeah, so they
Mormon
have
furniture.
I'm like, your theme parks don't have a Mormon furniture.
No, they do not. He's correct.
John didn't want to go see it. I was kind of interested.
I'm surprised Dave hasn't made a pilgrimage out there for that theme
coaster
park.
Looks cool.
They have another one too that's pretty dope. They actually do pretty deep. They have a couple decent cool coasters.
I feel like you're not brave enough to have gone on them.
Oh no. I went on the river rafting one. I love the river rafting ones. We got soaking wet.
Carrie, with Mormon furniture, is it like, an extra wide bed for all the wives, or how does that work?
It's just like it's a throne and a bunch of seats off to the side. Yeah. No, I mean I think they're known for like the good craftsmanship in the wood furniture. In all honesty, and lots of beehives and stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. Are they the ones who raise the barns, or that's the Amish?
The Amishes do that. Yeah, the Amish people.
The Amish folks.
That was another thing. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Kev.
No, I was going to say, just to bring up this, religiosity talk here. I just sold a Wana.
What's happening?
Sparks vest.
I have a new stand.
Awana vests.
Awana
I sold
Sparks
Awana.
vest. What do those go
Yeah.
for? Like a set of 5 or 1?
$16. $16 plus shipping.
So what Kevin's telling us is he beat up 2 kids, stole their Awana vests, and put them on eBay. Give me a vest.
How many people did you beat up back in the day when you were in high school, Kev?
Yeah, let's
I've
talk
been
about it. You ever had a
Were you
fist
doing
fight?
squirrelies and noogies and stuff?
Outside of my family, I've been in one fisticuffs, one fight, real fight.
Okay. Yeah, they
That's
called
it,
it fisticuffs
time.
back in your day. That's
They
right.
did,
That's
they did.
accurate. That's
just-
true to the time.
Put them up.
Put up your fisticuffs, sir. I'm a Frenchy man.
Who stole my sarsaparilla?
I think everyone could probably guess I've had 0 physical encounters, and same with Carrie.
No, I fought
Yet,
my best friend
so
in my
far.
basement. In my basement.
You and Carrie got a physical encounter. I saw it on
Yeah,
film.
no, that was messed up though, because it wasn't a
That-
fight.
That was a love tap. That was a love tap.
That
So
was
what
Dave
happened to
being
your...
funny at the expense of my health. I was luckily not injured, thankfully.
Listen, Carrie, you were fine. You were completely
I
fine.
was fine, but dude, we can't be doing that because we're all in our 40s now, except for Kevin, and we
Break
can't
the hip.
continue in
Depressing.
this.
It is depressing to be in
Dude,
your
I'm
40s.
still
That's
a little
depressing.
depressed about it.
I'm
Yo,
depressed.
come
I'm a
on.
little sad.
Haven't you always
you're
wanted
not-
to be older?
Kevin, I did a little calculation in my head, a little number
You're
tapping.
half dead. We know.
Listen, no, forget all that. When I went off to college, my mom was 44. She was an old lady when I went off to
Listen,
college.
My
And I'm
parents,
almost the same age.
my parents at age 40 were empty nesters. No, it wasn't even 40. They were 38, 39 empty nesters.
I'm not gonna be an empty nester till 50 at the earliest.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Well, won't even
I was
be
just
then.
thinking because I went to.
It'll be longer than that.
It'll be long.
So
Dude,
I'm in
for you, you'll
Utah.
be like 65, Kevin.
Yeah, you
Come
will be.
on, dude.
You're already 55. Turner's how old? 10?
Yeah. Turner's 11.
Oh, he's 11. Okay, yeah. So yeah, you'll be 64. You'll be withdrawn from your.
I'm not going to
IRA.
be that old. Good night.
You're gonna be
Jeez.
finally into the Social Security monies.
Yeah, he's gonna get a discount on his AARP
Yeah.
magazine that he reads every month.
No. Oh, my
All right,
goodness.
what did you say, Carrie? What were you saying?
No, I'm just gonna say, like, I went to my hometown theme park. So I grew up in a place called Farmington, Utah. And if you're from Utah, there is a giant theme park called Lagoon. And we used to go there, hang out, and it was fascinating because, like, all the kids, because it's still a place where kids go and hang out. First off, they're all wearing the exact clothes we wore in 1998.
That's
It's kind
awesome.
of tripping me out.
Yeah,
Like, they're wearing
Y2K
Jinkos.
action.
Yeah, no, it's super Y2K, so that's tripping me out. And then I'm like, yeah, they're all like, all the kids got to be the kids of the people that I used to go to Lagoon with. And it was really a trip. And everything's
Do they have
smaller.
like a big giant billboard that says like "Home of American Arbitrage" or "Hometown of American
No.
Arbitrage"?
They
What was
need
it?
to.
Shadow was saying, like, are you, like, nobody's even
You're a
recognized
local
you
celebrity,
yet.
bro. You're a
Nobody's
local
even
celebrity.
recognized you. I didn't get recognized once at Lagoon. Not once, guys.
Did you go to your
And-
like high school reunions? Have you ever been to those?
I do not
I've
want
never
to go to
done
high
that.
school reunion.
Too
Have you,
far.
Kevin?
All the way across
It
the
is.
country, man.
It will be, yeah.
Although
for Kevin.
25 years, what is it?
25 years ago?
Oh, geez, no, it's been longer than that. What am I talking? It's 30 years next year. Holy moly.
I actually don't know if my high school had any reunions. I've never been reached out to.
I went
My
to
say-
my
parents always
5-year.
go.
We had a 5-year little tiny one. I went
Yeah,
to
that could be cool because everyone's just
It's
finishing
like,
school.
yeah, everybody's done with college. You're like, hey, what are you up to? Or like,
Mhm.
I'm still working at Burger King. It's
My
so-
parents always go back, and they just had their 50th in California, and they've gone back for bunches of them.
I feel like high school reunions are for boomers, not to get too aggressive.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like that's something that like boomers do.
Kevin's a bit
Like-
of one of those.
Like, you just go there to say, hey, I'm a dentist now. Like, we're not the kind of people that should be going to
What would
reunions.
you say, Carrie? You'd be like,
I open up baseball cards on the interwebs on TikTok. Yeah, no. They're going to wonder
well, that's
if
why I
I'm...
think it would be funny to go to a
Mhm.
high school reunion. Like,
You
how
could wear
many
your
people from
JNCOs.
my high school
Dude, I should wear my
are
Jinkos.
doing something incredibly stupid, like what we did, right? It's like,
Yeah.
oh, what do you do?
We don't
Oh,
talk
I'm like
enough about how
I'm like
incredibly
a
stupid our
cottage
jobs are.
cheese chef on YouTube.
I occasionally run
Oh.
into my students, my old students, who are
Mhm.
not exactly young anymore. And
Yeah, they're-
like, what are you doing? I'm like, dude, or like, are you still teaching? Are you still I'm like, no? And I don't tell them unless they pry.
Yeah. You know what weirds me out? I don't know why it weirds me out, but people will ask from time to time, hey, what do you do? And, you'll
Mhm.
respond.
What do you
you'll
tell
say-
them?
I usually say I make YouTube videos. That's usually what I
are
say.
you ashamed of being a reseller?
Absolutely, yeah.
Why?
Totally.
Without a
Seriously?
Yeah, without. I mean, look at us, guys. Come on.
Oh,
Look at
I
this.
mean, listen.
Come
I was
on. Look at us.
listening to Caleb Hammer, one of his episodes.
Look at
Carrie.
Dave, guys. Look at
I was
Dave.
listening to a Caleb Hammer episode, and I hear this guy talking. He's like smacking his lips. He sounds like a slob. He's all over the place. I'm like, this guy might be a reseller. And Caleb's like, what do you do? He's like, I'm a reseller. I'm like, yep, called it.
Dude,
You should tell
that
him
was
you make.
kind of offensive, and I laughed. I feel bad.
You should tell him you do what Heck and Steve does. Say I make videos about scummy resellers on the internet.
Dude, well, no, I usually say YouTube content creator, but
Really?
they never ask me what
Like
my channel
what?
is. And that bothers me a little. Like, I don't know why that bothers me so much.
About
but no
what
one
do you
cares.
make your videos about cottage
No
cheese?
one cares. No one cares.
say
It's like, okay.
I say auteur, which is French for like charismatic debutante.
What do you say, really, Carrie, when somebody asks you?
Nobody asks me because I just around.
They just assume you don't have a job.
He's only surrounded by resellers.
Everybody's like, I don't know how he's affording what he's buying right now at the Goodwill, but he's doing it. No, I think I give off I don't know. I don't really.
You give
I
off
don't
a
hang out.
vagabond vibe.
No, well, I mean, Kevin used to call me homeless all the time, and it hurt my feelings a lot. I talked to him
No,
about
you
it.
didn't.
But it
No,
motivated it motivated positive behaviors like changing your clothes. So I think it's all good.
Dude, I get.
Oh, you got a little thumbs up. That's cute. Hey, Gary.
Can I do it again?
I don't know how you did it.
I did this.
All right,
Okay.
no gang
Anyway.
signs. No gang signs.
No.
Oof.
I tell people
Oh,
I tell
Wait,
people I said
Can you
sell,
edit that? Nobody's doing that anymore. It's fine.
What, Kevin?
I tell people I sell things on eBay and I make videos about it.
Okay, so you sell things on eBay and you make all right. They don't want to know that much. That's what I've learned is they don't actually.
Well, you got to
care.
tell them. So what are you supposed to? No, they don't care. But
They
what
don't
are you
care.
supposed to tell them?
They're asking
I'm
you
gonna
so
start,
they
I wanna
can tell
sell
you.
them-
They're asking you so they can say what they do. So you just got to be
I
quick.
feel
and
like
you-
okay, so here's the thing. Maybe if you made it a little bit more like intriguing, like I make videos online and people pay me to
just
watch
straight
them.
lie to them.
And then give them like a little wink. Yeah, they're gonna think you're on OnlyFans or something.
Yeah.
Then they'll be like, "Well, what kind of content?" I'm like, "Oh, I can't tell you because it's just it's private." But really, it's not. Yeah, I think that's the way to do it.
Say I sell on Bonanza.
Yeah.
No one
Sell
sells on
Bonanza.
People list on Bonanza, but they don't sell on Bonanza.
I sold something this
Oh
week.
my gosh, it's like Mercari. Do you sell anything on Mercari anymore? It is. Totally
I haven't
Mercari's
listed, I haven't
terrible.
cross-listed to Mercari in like 2 months, but occasionally
This is
I
what
sell
Mercari's
things
for.
through.
Macari's for getting excited about once a year, posting 20 things, them never selling, you forgetting about it, and 8 months later, when you're on a vacation, you sell 3 things. That's what Macari's for.
Yeah, that's right. That's pretty right.
Well,
It's basically you only sell stuff when it's the most inconvenient time for you.
Speaking of, I didn't even I send offers out all the time, 5%, 10%. And people watch for that now, obviously, and they wait for the offer. But I won't send an offer. I got a bunch of watchers on those stupid giant MCM birds that Dawn gave me. I'm like, I do not want these to sell. I don't want to package them. You ever got an item? You're like,
I'll let Dawn know you said that.
Yeah, no, there's definitely items I intentionally don't send offers on because I know I'm gonna have to ship them, and it's just like I'm not willing to ship them for that little money.
But here's
No.
the, here's
but
the
you
thing.
listed it.
I mean, Kevin has an excuse because we literally just offloaded that to him. But you need to stop buying that stuff, Dave. Just go like it's not worth it anymore. I
no,
stopped. Dawn's
I
still
sold
buying
in-
blow molds, which I
Yeah.
guess if she wants to ship them, she can.
I sold an accordion style sewing kit today for $37. That's like a nice big one. It's cool.
I don't even know what that
It's
is.
like an MCM.
Like
the reason I
accordion-style
say scummy
sewing kit?
resellers is because
it's like kind of like a bait box with tackle.
in the
boxes
heat
and
of
stuff.
battle, any reseller could be perceived as scummy, and so there is a little bit of a shame because not
here's the-
necessarily because you yourself or I did something scummy, but everyone feels like they've been burnt by a reseller at some
Look,
point in their
every
life.
profession has the that side. History teacher, reseller,
Yeah.
in and out employee. There's good
Yeah.
and bad.
Yeah, well,
Every
what I
job.
mean is like, you wanted the PlayStation 5 and you couldn't get it because the reseller scooped them all up. You wanted a
Yeah.
Cybertruck and you could literally there's like an issue.
You
with
wanted a
Cybertrucks right
heater
now.
in the middle of winter, but Reezy bought them all allegedly.
There's this issue with Cybertrucks.
Mike
People
bought 'em,
couldn't
allegedly.
get the Cybertruck. Couldn't get it for years because everyone locked them in. Now everyone that gets picked up ends up getting sold immediately. And so a lot of the people are saying, like the dealers, they were buying all these Cybertrucks. They're now stuck with 15 Cybertrucks, and no one's actually wanting to buy them because the people that wanted to buy them were the flippers. And so, I think that everyone can look at a reseller and say, "Oh yeah, they screwed me over. Maybe they
No,
bought
they
all the
didn't.
video games."
Dude, that's
You
such a
can feel.
bogus
I
argument.
think the majority of people feel like at some point in their lives they got screwed over by at least one reseller. They might not be
If
right,
peop-
but they
Yeah.
can feel that way. I'm saying there's a lot of people who
There's
feel
a
that way.
time I had to stay. Me and Don had to stay at a murder Airbnb because of a reseller.
Yeah, he
That
screwed
happened
you
to
over.
us.
I was there. I
That was
remember
a
that.
big time meanie move.
I've even had
I
moments where I'm like, "Oh, freaking resellers."
Yeah.
Have you
no,
never had
you
that
have
moment?
not.
Yes, I have.
No.
Like when I was trying to buy a PS5 and I couldn't get them for less than $1,000, and I just wanted one for my kid for Christmas. I felt
Well,
annoyed at resellers. You've never
okay.
had something
So
like
where
that
does the
happen?
problem lie? You think the problem lies with resellers?
No, I don't think it's a problem at
So
all. It's
who
just
does it lie
capitalism.
with?
There's not a problem. It doesn't mean it didn't annoy me, but there's not a
Well,
problem.
okay. If an
The
item
speed
is
limit
being
annoys me.
sold in a certain marketplace underpriced, whose problem is that?
Well, so you're saying every Nike limited release is being sold underpriced because they all sell out instantly to
Yes.
resellers.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm
But
saying.
if
Well,
if Nike priced them at $1,200, the resellers would still buy them
dude,
all and then
there's
price them at
places.
$2,000.
In
Nope.
all honesty, I don't know if you know
think they
like
would.
about Dutch auctions. There's like the card websites like Panini. They'll do
You
Dutch
got it.
auctions, and then
You
people will
got it.
buy them high, and then they're gonna risk it, and they'll try to, and
You
then it
beat
just
me
sells
to it.
out.
That was my
Explain that to
point.
me. I don't know
They
what you're
should do a
saying.
Dutch auction. So like a
What is a Dutch
Panini, which
auction?
is a basketball card manufacturer.
Started
we'll
at
call
10,000.
They'll start it at 10, and then it'll go down like every, I don't know, 15 minutes to 9 to 8 to 7, and they have so many products available and it sells out. But people are going to buy at 8,000 thinking it's going to sell out at 7, so they want to. So some people are going to be
How
paying
bad
seven,
do
eight
you want it?
thousand dollars for a box, and other people are going to wait and get the timing perfect and maybe pay three
But
thousand,
won't
for
people
example.
perceive that as a company being very greedy?
Yes,
But what,
Isn't
is
there
it
a lot of
they don't
negative
care,
press
though.
around that?
Is it greedy
I don't know.
to get the market
That's,
price?
Kevin,
Is not
that's not
greed.
what I
Yeah,
said.
can
That's
we
not what I
can
said.
somebody
I said
clip that though?
Yes,
Okay.
When he
people
says,
will
"Is it
perceive it as
greedy?"
greedy. Yes, absolutely.
not only that, but like there's a lot of negative connotation in America right now about wealth, right? Wealthy people are looked at as the bad guy. Carrie is fine screwing over big companies. Like there is people who look down on wealth, and so if
Yes, we should have nothing but poor people.
every ultra wealthy person buys all the new Nike drops, and everyone else feels like they can never afford them. Like, how long is Nike
That was
drop
the
going
most
to be popular?
Scrooge. That was the
Well,
most Scrooge McDuck line ever, Kevin.
What did he say? I didn't even hear
He
it's
him.
said we
true.
should we should all we should have is poor people. What are you talking about?
Well, it's sarcasm.
Everyone is
I
a
know.
poor person
Sarcasm.
compared to him.
We're all
so.
poor compared to you, man.
Well, there's other countries that know how to make everybody poor. We could go that route.
Kevin's getting political now.
No, we got.
I'm not
we're
going
on a
political.
razor
This is-
wire.
this
Be
is-
careful.
History here. Capitalism has brought more wealth to humanity than any other economic system ever. Period.
I will say, someone went on the Caleb Hammer show. I'm always advertising him now. And it was this spoiled girl who grew up in like one of the wealthiest neighborhoods in Texas. And she was like, there's literally a point where she complains and says, my parents didn't have a jet. All my friends had a private jet, and I didn't have a jet. Like, this is the kind of person.
Yep.
And then she goes on this rant about how evil capitalism is and how she hates the wealthy and the ultra wealthy. And I was like, I don't really think you understand. You are the ultra wealthy, dear.
Yeah.
Like,
That's what I
you're
tell my
very
students
confused.
all the time. I'm like, I don't think you guys get it. Even poor
Yeah.
people in this country are wealthier than
Oh, yeah,
99% of people that have ever
Dude,
lived.
I remember vividly living in Mexico when I was a missionary, and people having dirt floors and tin roofs. Like they're all happy for the most part. But
So
like,
which is a greater evil? Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I
No,
don't
I mean,
know.
go
I
ahead. What
sometimes
is?
kind
Yeah.
of, I sometimes kind of crave that life. The
Is
life where it's not all
envy
about money.
Isn't envy
Happiness
just
is the
at
goal,
least?
folks.
I mean, envy will destroy you more than
Yeah,
having a
keeping up with the
dirt
Joneses.
floor.
This all comes back to me saying I feel like I need to downgrade my house. I need a smaller house that's cheaper, so I'd have less stress and I'm just happier.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice? Because
You
my
just
cousin was over. I've been to my cousin's house. He's got a very nice house. It's not huge. It's pretty small. But he's telling me about his taxes and his insurance and his everything is so much cheaper than what
Yeah.
I'm paying.
Dude,
and I'm like,
Dave, if I
don't
told
need a
you my
bigger house than him.
expenses, you'd be like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, I feel like there's more joy though
I got
in
no
having less
expenses.
stuff. Yeah, I know.
And
And
there
you're
you go.
rich.
People chase the dollar instead of chasing contentment. Sometimes getting to the contentment requires that dollar, or at least some people think it does. But chase contentment. Sounds like Dave's about ready
Well,
to do that.
I think I'm getting close. I think like I did actually because I was asking for Carrie, talk to my mortgage guy And he said I could technically qualify for a different mortgage so that I could like swap houses in April after I've, had 2 tax returns as like a non-employed person. So I might do that. I might consider it. Who's at my door? There, Callie.
Is your
Yeah,
family all in on that? Or
I'm
do
gonna
you
move
just
out to
make?
Florida. Then Dave's going to Vegas. Is what I think
No, I would
what's gonna
still be
happen.
in town. I would just be in something smaller. That's all.
Mhm.
Callie,
Yeah,
is that
there's
you?
something to be said for it,
I'm
man.
doing a
I say it all the
podcast
time.
here.
That's why when I started making a little bit more money, I didn't really increase, other than
Dawn's
a couple
upstairs.
more vacations a year. I didn't increase my cost of living at all.
Yeah.
How many vacations are you at a year right now? Like 17?
I used to take just
Another hour
one,
at least before I'm
and
done.
now I take 3.
Mm-hmm.
And we do a few more. We might go away for a
You
weekend.
just hear that? We have 3 and then we might do a few more. That's more than
What are
Well,
we
like
talking about,
not
though?
real like week-long
vacations.
vacations.
Kevin's constant vacations.
Gotcha.
No.
Carrie, what mic are you using? Did you bring your mic?
Nah,
Are you using
dude.
the headphones?
I'm just
Okay.
using my phone. Yeah.
That sounded
Is
good.
Is it
It's
rubbing?
alright. It's no. It's just not. It's not very good, but it makes sense if it's that. I don't know
Yeah,
if
I'm at the stepson's
Yeah,
house.
So Kevin takes.
Gotcha.
Sorry, Callie came in here. I got distracted. But yeah, Kevin takes a lot of vacations.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Whatever,
yeah.
dude.
aggressive.
So I
It's
think
aggressive.
what you were
went out on
saying.
your one vacation was
What
the
you were
total of my
saying-
3.
What you were saying is that you didn't have lifestyle creep. I did have lifestyle creep. Aggressively,
know, I watched
allowed lifestyle creep in my life, and
But you did that while you're getting 2 incomes.
I was
get
getting
at least
2
give
incomes.
you a little forgiveness
Yeah,
for that.
I was making a lot of money back then, and I'm not. I mean, listen, we're fine here, but I was talking to Tina about it. I was like, life would be a lot less stressful in a small. She's like, "Yep, sign me up. I'm sick of cleaning this huge
good.
house."
See, there you go.
She
There you
hates
go.
how big the house is because there's always stuff to clean. There's always
Mhm.
there's the pool to take care of.
Just
It's
kick
so
the
much
kids
work.
out too. Send them over there with Carrie and
Yeah.
Dawn.
Yeah, no. So we're talking about next year downsizing into something. The only thing we really need is like ideally 4 beds. Ideally because we have 4, individual 3 kids and 2 adults. And we're not like Kevin sleeping in separate rooms. Me and
Yeah, I was
Tina,
like,
the
you're sleeping
5th.
with your wife. Congratulations.
Yeah. And 2 bathrooms would be nice, a big garage, and a decent kitchen. That's all. We don't need the pool. We don't need a huge yard. We don't need.
Well,
Right
that's
now
the
I have
same
5
size
bedrooms.
house.
No, I have 5 bedrooms and 3 baths right now, and
okay.
over 3,000 square feet. It's too much.
Guests, and
It's
then you
too
gotta have
much.
guests. Like with me,
Yeah.
but there's no extra guest room, so it's like, no, you can't stay here, Dave. Thank
But
goodness.
we moved down here at the super competitive time where there was like
Yep.
50 offers on every house, and they were all selling instantly before they even
Slowing
went on the
down.
market.
Slowing down.
And so this was like the one house that kind of fit all our needs, and we thought we needed a pool. Clearly we don't, since no one goes in it. We thought we needed a pool when we were moving down here, and so we went in a bidding war, and we paid up because of the time. It's still gone up a little bit, but not much. But yeah, I think we just got in the frenzy of we got a low interest rate, which I'll miss. 4% or 3.8%.
Dude, it's already dropped a half, and it will drop at least a full more point in the next 6 to 8 months. I
think by the time
it.
I'm ready to buy in April, May-ish, probably, I think I could see, if I did a 15-year, maybe 5 something. That wouldn't be bad. I'd be okay with that.
But could you get out of this one?
Yes, no, this house would sell very fast. Yeah. No, it really would. I mean, the houses that
The
go on
market
sale
isn't
in my
quite-
neighborhood are selling instantly right now still.
That was the case up and down out here too, and this house has been for sale for 4 months now. So
Well, one just
maybe
sold the other day. I mean, we'll see. Well, it's going to be 8 months, so it's hard to say, what it's going to be like then.
Yep. But
Yeah.
the economy has, I don't want to I'm already getting political, but I mean, there's enough slowing here that they feel like they need to drop these interest rates and give a little pump to this market. So, which is good for Q4, by the way.
If you hadn't had such like a dark and seedy past, you could run for president, Kev.
Yeah.
It's true.
There's just a lot of crimes in your past. So it's
Yeah.
hard.
It's
Can you even go as a felon? Is it
There
possible?
are more. I have found there are more resellers that have arrest records than I was aware of.
Carrie, Kevin, 2 out of 3
Hey,
on
look.
this show.
Look. If streaking's a crime, then
Hey, we're
I want to
still
go
in
to
our
jail.
40s.
Okay?
Ah,
I'm going to continue to streak when it's appropriate, okay?
When it's streaking
it
appropriate.
is crazy that that's a crime.
When you don't
Like,
get
you're-
caught.
Did everyone back in like the 60s and the free love era when they were all like walking around naked, did they all get in trouble for streaking, or was it cool back then?
Nah,
It's
dude, it was
it's hard to prosecute mass amounts of people.
If
you
there's
know?
enough of us naked together, then we're
That's
good.
right.
That's
So,
what
like,
Kevin's
if
telling us.
you got it.
look. It's
Kevin's hosting
simple.
the
If
first
me,
new
My
if me,
reseller
social
Kevin,
rally.
experience.
if all three of us are naked walking down the road, it's just whoever's the slowest that's going to get prosecuted.
that was a I'll use another word, scuttlebutt in the teacher's room all the time. You know, it's like you don't have to do what you're told. You just have to do a little bit more than the worst person in the building, and you're okay.
I kind of want to hear what
of
this
course,
sounds like.
didn't agree with that, but
Let's see.
that's
We're gonna
not true of
whistle,
resellers.
guys.
You better hustle.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good little whistle.
Oh.
Medical alert whistle. I'll just wear it
People
here.
take their headphones out everywhere.
Well, I tried not to do it too loud.
So, Dave,
Anyways,
you beat
what are we
me
talking
2 days
about?
in a row in reselling. 2 days in a row.
Oh yeah, and
I
in
did have a
physical
good
strength.
week though overall.
In
Dave,
feats
no.
of strength with the Costanzas, me and Kevin
You've never
actually
even been
faced
in
off
a
this year.
fight before.
Yeah, but just strength.
Not
raw
even one.
Strength. Raw strength.
That doesn't count. How about siblings? Like I fought my brother all the time. Like fought him. But I'm talking about outside of the family.
Do you even know
Remember
like how to approach a fight, Dave? Like, do you put up your dukes, or are you going
It's
straight
simple.
for like the bear
Miss
hug
the
and try
first
to pull
punch
him
and
down?
you'll survive.
I think you go for the crotch. You just go for the crotch. Any way you can get it.
Yeah, just
Stuff
a
like that.
pull and twist.
Yeah.
And you're good to go.
Any crotch moves is the key to success. I think that's yeah, no.
that's true.
Okay, so sales are down for me still. I don't know. I think my 90-day total, this'll make some of you feel good, so I'll tell you. It has gone from, I think it was
Well, you had a
30K.
vacation in there, dude.
In June, I think I was at 90K. No, 30K? How much is it? 30K. 30K for my 90-day in June. It is now down to 22K.
But you had a long period in there where you didn't sell anything.
Yes.
And what's the
it
K
was,
stand for?
$1,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about
Something.
month over month?
MOTM? Is that right?
Yeah, MOTM. It's the part of the podcast where we talk
Month over
MOTM.
the
Mom.
Month over the month. No, the
Let's
Mom.
month.
start a
Mom.
new month over
Yeah.
month. Mom.
Oh yeah, Mom. Let's
How
talk
do I
about
even
Mom.
get to that, Kevin?
Let's
How do I
make
even
that
get
a
to
thing.
I'm looking for it.
On
Hold on.
Granny.
Performance.
Sorry,
during-
your mom. What's your mom?
What's your
over
mom?
month. I don't know. Sales. I found it.
I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna get in
Okay,
trouble.
so sales. Excuse me. Sales are for August to September 7,437, and then
But you also had that big tool buy that bumped you up big too, and so you're losing that.
Yeah, you got
You're
lucky,
working
dude.
against a lot of stuff
Yeah.
here.
I'm a tool who bought a bunch of tools.
Yeah,
It
you've
was a wonderful
gotten
moment.
you've focused more on just making some of the best keto chips out there. You've been spending time on that.
No, that's true.
I will say though that those buys that really is what drives it.
It is. It's true.
It's like I right now for the first time in a long like maybe since I like quit my job, I have very little inventory to even list.
Makes a big difference. It makes.
That's
a big
really
difference.
I haven't been able
that's
to
my
yard
biggest
sale.
problem too.
It's
right
rained every week, and the weeks it hasn't been bad weeks, and it's like, man, I need to get some stuff.
I
have
Brandon,
some, but not a lot.
I was hoping you'd see Brandon this weekend. Did you see him?
No, there was only like 5 sales listed.
I bought him
And
a
I'm
fanny
like,
pack. That's a WWE wrestling belt. It's huge. And it's a
I've seen
cooler and it
those.
holds drinks. It holds like 4 beers. And I told him to pack it with beers or sodas, and when he sees you to pull it out while you're filming
There
and give
you
you a
go.
drink. I said, I
like
bet
it.
you'll be in his
That
video.
would have been good.
Yeah, you might have even gotten
Have you
thumbnail
talked to him? Has he
status.
been doing okay up here lately?
He's been doing terrible.
It's bad.
He said
It's
there's
bad.
not much up there.
I
at all.
decided not even to go out on Saturday because there was like
got-
5 sales listed, and
I
there
thought he
was
said
I'm
the
like,
Elks Lodge had one. Usually you go to that, don't you?
I usually do, but I didn't because Turner had a tournament, and there were so few sales up here. I'm like, you know
Still,
what? I'm
the
not gonna
Elks Lodge
miss.
you always do
I'm not
good
gonna
at.
miss that.
Yeah.
I do okay. It's not Elks, anyways. It's
Look, he chose
Well,
being
he
a
said
good
it's like
father.
he said it's like an Elks
Ruritan
Lodge.
Club.
Yeah, that's what he said.
I do good at that, but I wasn't gonna miss. I'm like, I'll just because it was a whole day of Saturday baseball, and I'm like, I'll go down there, Martinsville, and I go down. There's a little flea market, like 3 or 4 tables every time. I drop them off. I go over there. There was 5 tables. I bought like 5 things.
He
And
said
that
he
was
got
my
one of those
Saturday.
Disney Princess DVD players. You know, the pink ones.
Oh yeah,
Those
nice.
do pretty good. He got that for.
But did he not do good there, or did he do good there?
That was the only place he did decent. He said he got
Mm-hmm.
a couple things there, but not too much. No. So this weekend, I rolled up on a Disney pin sale finally, like real
There we
Disney
go.
pins, not the
You were
fake ones
rodding
that
it
some other
up.
people sell. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I bought a
Yeah,
crap ton of them.
sold it off on whatnot.
I sold less
How do
than
you
half of
know?
it off.
How do we know they're real though? For real, like how do you know if a Disney pin is real? That's a good
Yeah, it's a
question, right?
contest.
I
It's
think it is.
very, very complicated. A lot of it comes with
You
the
have to lick it, right?
backstory.
And if it stings, it's
Yep,
real.
yep. Now this was an 82-year-old woman. She had been collecting with her
That's
husband.
usually
She
they're
probably has
usually mass producing
connections.
them in
Yeah,
Yep.
in China.
Yeah,
She
and her
goes and
husband passed
travels and gets them.
away. He passed away, and then when he passed away, she's had him for like 2 more years. She's decided she doesn't need him anymore. Her kids don't want him. Listen, one of the reasons I think they're real is she was like picking them up and being like, "I remember when we got this one."
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Yeah, but
she
that's
was
what they all
crying,
say.
Carrie. She was
That's
literally crying because of the memories evoked
And
by
you
these
ripped off a
pins.
crying
So
82-year-old woman. That's why
yeah,
I
resellers.
did not
really?
negotiate at all. I did honestly feel bad, and I was like, I'm not even gonna. I'm just gonna pay what she asks on all of them because their
Look at
prices were
you.
reasonable, $2 to $4 a pin. And I was like, I'm just gonna pay what she asks.
And they were
But
fake.
But at the they were real, and by the end of it, like because I was buying so much, she just basically gave them to me for about $2 a pin, maybe $1.80 a pin.
You should have
And
reminded her that they were 3 or 4 each, though.
on I probably should have like, ma'am, I think you did your math wrong. I'm getting a better deal than $3 to $4 a pin. Well, somewhere $1, she said. I don't know. It ended up being about $1.80 a pin. And on Whatnot last night, I averaged $9 a pin.
Nice.
So I mean, listen, I could have done it on DibDip, but
How
at
many
the end of the
pins?
day, like
How
You
many
wanted to
pins?
make $9 a pin.
I got 250 pins.
Uh-huh.
So I spent around 400 something bucks, $430, something like that. And yeah, no, I mean, I could have done it on DibDip, but there's just such a strong like audience for Disney pins on Whatnot. It just makes
No
a
doubt.
lot more sense to bring them over there. And
Yeah.
also like
I would have created an audience over on Divdit if I had Disney pins.
right, but I
you
was
do
trying
you.
to sell them the same day. You know, you're like
I know,
waiting
I
3
got
weeks
you,
and
I got you.
promoting and things like
Yeah,
that. I'm not that
exactly.
good.
You're the PT Barnum
I need to
of the
recoup the
reselling
money.
world.
Dude.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
What
I
you
will
could
say,
have
like,
done though. Well,
it is hard
all
to
right.
Kevin. It's hard to ignore, like when you have 14,000 followers on a platform versus 4,000, and you've got actual pin collectors in a platform. And so eventually, DibDit can be like the place for that. But I didn't feel like we're there yet, and I wanted to make sure I did what I buy.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And
Hey,
Rod
Dan in
offered
Demand
to
is going
stream me.
today. Actually, I have a
Raid me.
show. Do I have a show today?
You
Tuesday
sold stuff today.
on Divdit. On
Oh,
Divdit.
you mean future today? You're somehow talking in the
Yeah.
future.
Oh yeah, I sell stuff all the time on Divdit. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Comments.
I
How
certainly
come you
don't sell
can't
anything
sell
on
anything
comments.
on
Everything I
comments?
list on there doesn't
Dude,
sell.
well, it's because you're a dummy. I mean, I don't know what to
Okay,
tell
well,
you.
that's fair.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You
Okay,
didn't
I'm a
even
dummy.
put it in a pin.
It's
You
just
didn't
cool to
even-
see the real you in
It's
the
your own.
podcast. It's nice.
You're on district. You got to tag it in a category. I had to go on there today. I'm like, why? Why is this not? It got a lot of traffic at the very beginning. Tons. It was one of the highest trafficked items.
Tons.
And then
I have the
and then
data,
it just
guys.
died.
I have the data for
let's-
Just a minute.
tons of
Break
traffic. I
down.
have the data. I'm
What's
gonna
your
tell
mom?
you.
What's your mom on DibDit right now?
What's my mom?
Yeah, it's your month over month.
Oh,
we
yes, I
discussed,
forgot.
we discussed
call it
this.
that. Yeah, I'm
Remember?
sorry. It has 25 views in 4 days. So millions of views. Millions of
And
views.
listen to me. It had all of those on the first day
Yeah. Yeah.
because you didn't pin it in a category. So it
No.
goes as soon as somebody lists something, it goes
You
away.
gotta put
So
it-
I had to go on and pin it for you.
Well, I listed it on Dibdit too. So if you'd rather buy it on
Okay.
Dibdit, it's in both because it's
There you
Dibdit
go.
stuff too.
It's a
It
good
is
deal.
Cheaper on Dibdit.
If I was a comic book person, I would have already bought it.
It's cheaper on Dibdit too. I priced it lower just because I wanted it to sell on Dibdit instead
Good.
of comments,
I hope
just
it
so
does.
I could troll you.
I hope it does. But I already told you. 'Cause you
Listen,
didn't pin
I'll
it.
tell you.
Maybe you
let me-
pinned it on
Can I tell you
Dibdit.
something?
Sure.
Here's my thoughts on shop comments, and this is not going to be relatable. A lot of people are going to be like, "Wow, Dave's a douche," but they say that all the time anyway.
That's
So this
true.
is just adding to that lore of Dave being a douche. I have personally a decent enough audience that I don't need to bulk discount my items and sell them.
Yeah, it's pretty douchey.
I
you
just
just
don't
said.
like. I know I could go on Whatnot with those comic books, and I can get $4 to $5 a piece times 50 comics, and do at least as good as I would get wholesaling them out. And I don't have so many that I have to get rid of a bunch.
I totally agree with you. I don't think you're the right person to sell on comments.
I agree.
Yeah,
I
he
really
doesn't want
don't
you.
think I am.
He doesn't want you
Now,
because
unless,
you
I think
refuse to
unless-
post there. Now he doesn't want you.
unless you while you were sourcing were buying things for that marketplace that
Yeah.
didn't have that kind of appeal, like not comics. Maybe it's a box full of light fixtures that are
Yeah.
$9.99 plus
Some that I
shipping
couldn't sell
light
on any live
fixtures.
auction thing. It's
Exactly.
boring, yeah.
So the people that are having so much success are the people who are doing storage units, who are buying massive bulk at auctions, and they're sifting and they're getting what their niche is, and they're selling it off, and
off
they're
the crap
trying
they're
to
not
do it.
interested
Yeah,
in. But I'm very lightly buying right now too. That's
Right.
the other thing.
That's
is
what I'm saying.
Just
You're
not
not the
buying
right
much
person.
right now. I'm buying
Carrie-
very little.
kind of is at this point in his life because he's trying to unload stuff quickly.
Yeah, I'm not buying hardly anything except for some cards to keep running through my auctions. I need
Yeah,
And
inventory
there's
for
also
that.
people who have like a huge death pile and they've maybe tried whatnot with no success and they're not moving fast these items on eBay and they just want them gone. They want the space, and so maybe commons make sense for them.
Yeah.
When there's
But
like
it's not
no
really a
other
great
options
marketplace
and
for
you
me.
want to get rid of the stuff super cheap, shopcommons.net.
Yes, if you want to just give away your stuff at your own loss,
If you
harm
want, if
yourself
you're
but help Kevin.
if you're deep in a
Shopcommons.com.
if you're deep in a sunk cost loss and
There's
you just
over
want
a-
to buy
you're
or
getting
sell your
$1,000
garbage
in
off.
Bro,
sales a day,
I didn't tell you. I
every
was
day.
able to lock in shopcommons.com. It goes straight to Dibdit. I bought the URL. It goes straight to Dibdit if you do shopcommons.com.
I got shopcommons dot OnlyFans / the Commonwealth Pickler.
Foot
No, you
finder.
got shopcommons.xxx. That's what Carrie does.
Oh,
Exactly.
my goodness.
But no,
My
now
sales
we're
are
talking about
up month over month, but it's mostly driven by some big sales. I've had a few like $500 sales in there.
Well,
so.
tell us. Let's hear.
Let's
What
hear.
kind
Let's
of things
hear.
are
We'd
selling
Well,
for
love to hear
$500
about what
on
you're
eBay?
selling.
Over the last month. It was the last one. The last $500 sale was that silver from last week. So I don't think I have a new $500 sale, but I can look. I guess I sold
You can
something
make one
the other
up.
day.
You can,
I
just
could.
lie like you do in your videos.
Oh yeah.
I get a lot of complaints about how much Kevin lies in his videos about what.
No,
Here's the
you
key.
do not.
Here's how
Every
you never
single
get
thing that's on
accused
my
of
eBay,
lying.
You see it right there.
You just sell $1.50 cards and people just feel sorry for you.
Most of the complaints come from Pat D's. Just calling him out. I'm lying.
Traveling and
I've
complaining.
been kind of out of it here. I haven't been able to.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I just like to say that.
Carrie,
Just in case there's litigious people out
Carrie, speaking of litigiousness, do you have any big sales? Do you wanna brag a little? While
Do
Kevin
I?
brags? Like, is there like a
What
I
is a
sold
big sale?
Nintendo 64 for $168.
And why?
That's not bad.
Why?
A big sale. Okay.
Why
so
are we
depending on the
comparing
week.
ourselves based on the sales, the size of the sales? Shouldn't it be how much the sales meant to the buyers and
the
the
content
bottom?
of the product's character?
Yeah,
That's
no,
true.
sir.
Yeah.
I sold a lot of stuff inexpensively to people who really appreciated it, and that's all that matters to me.
Well, Kevin, we were talking about coining. We already created that whole lowest sale of the week thing.
Yeah,
right?
lowest
That we
sale of the
came
week.
up with.
TM.
But
Don't
we're also
steal
going
it.
to copyright
Podcast.
the favorite sale of the week. Just
Yeah,
the
favorite
coolest
sale.
item that you sold.
Coolest
So
item.
That's pretty good.
Coolest.
And
We
Kevin actually also has a separate category.
I sold
Most
a V-frame,
offensive
so-
item he sold this week. What's the
We
most
also
offensive
trademarked.
item?
Most
We
offensive?
trademarked Ben's DJ song of the week. So if the song that we are playing most at our local Chili's at
Ben
the DJ show.
did tell us on his latest podcast the thing that I said that annoyed him so much.
Yeah, he did say that.
I won't say it again, but it's actually like quite a fun nickname. I really enjoy it, but I won't say it if it bothers him. I don't want to hurt his feelings.
You need to not be so mean to people.
But I think he says it, so if you want to hear it, go listen to his podcast. There you go, a little cross promotion, and you can hear the fun nickname I had made up. But
that's my favorite part of this podcast is mention their podcast
sale.
and then listen to what they say about it next week.
Yes.
I'm looking, and I actually have one that might, for some people, be offensive.
I knew you'd have an offensive sale.
Yeah,
what did you sell?
I
Mr.
do.
Offensive?
I sold a William and Mary, vintage William and Mary. Have you ever heard of William and Mary?
No.
It's a college, right? A
College,
university.
yeah, William and Mary. And it's when they used to be the Tribe, and it has feathers on it, and that was offensive to a bunch of folks, so they became the Griffins instead. So that might be offensive.
Okay.
To some folks,
I find your face offensive, so it doesn't take much.
J-Ride, I had a J-Ride offensive sale. All J-Ride sales are offensive. He sold on Commons.
You sold a J-Ride? What is this?
No. Baby Bliss, is that how you pronounce it? Pro Nano Titanium Curling Iron. $50 plus shipping.
Why is that offensive?
Yeah.
Because J-Ride
the problem,
it's
the worst
offensive
part
because of where Kevin put the curling iron before he sold it.
Exactly.
He likes the warming feature. He doesn't need the Enemin anymore. Anyway, now I'm getting too close to the head of the nail.
I was going to go further, but we're going to stop. But just let your imaginations go wild, folks.
Okay, so my cool sale. I'll tell you my cool sale. Even though
cool sale of the week.
I sold a set of Disney playing cards in a little tin for $75. $75 for a set of playing
That's
cards.
offensive
Cool.
because
I didn't
nobody
say
should
offensive.
pay that much.
I said cool. I said
Oh,
cool,
cool.
not offensive.
Okay,
Yeah, that
cool.
was because you wouldn't think Disney playing cards would be worth $75. So I think that's.
And you also wouldn't think they were cool.
I kind of thought they were cool. When I saw them, I probably said interesting because I say that a lot.
Yes, you do.
I say that on the daily. I say, and sometimes like I'll say it in our personal life, and Tina will be like, "Don't say interesting to me. Like that's your word for stuff."
You ever seen the mini
Hey,
backpacks?
Tina, I like your outfit. It's interesting. She's like, "No, don't you say that."
It's cute.
what'd you
Don't
say,
say
Kevin?
cute either.
Yeah,
Cute's not good.
Cute's not good. Yeah.
Baby ducks are cute.
Yeah. Okay,
I
what
want to
were
be
you
exotic
saying, Kevin? You had
and
started
mysterious.
a sentence, and then you
Tell her
stopped.
that next to the dress. Say the
Tell her
dress
she's
is
exotic. Tell her
mysterious
Kevin
and
said
exotic.
she's I'm gonna tell
Kevin said your dress
you're
is
exotic
mysterious.
and mysterious. That won't be weird to her.
I
at
sold.
all, Kevin.
I picked up. Blues Clues can do okay sometimes, but this mini backpack, tiny Blues Clues backpack, and it sold for $30.
Oh,
Plus
the
shipping.
show was better when we weren't talking about resale.
That was an
That's what I
aggressive, like, just turn of events. We went from how to
I
talk
thought
to
it was
your
cool.
wife to
Paid
Blues
a quarter.
Clues.
Kevin, we
Purple
had
Amarillo.
talked about the resellers we like to watch on the Secret
Yes,
podcast.
our favorites.
Yeah.
But you didn't get to give your answer. So
Who are the
Yeah,
ones?
I did.
You're on an
That's
island
good.
and all you have is Wi-Fi and lotion. Wait, no,
I'm
never
glad you
mind.
brought your lotion. Your skin.
That's
can dry
because
out.
you want to make yeah.
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of live and recorded podcasts.
Not ours. Not our secret.
Not ours apparently.
That's all right. We're not offended.
I can't. You get enough of Dave and Carrie sometimes, every once in a while.
Yeah, that's true. Kevin very rarely.
I
calls
listened.
us.
I didn't listen to
He
much
doesn't
this
talk
week
to us
at all,
much, does
though.
he?
It's been raining and there's all kinds of issues and stuff. So I haven't been. But I don't know. I listen to Resellers Leftover every week. I listen to RIN live and the recorded one.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be boring to some folks, but I'm gonna be listening a lot more content because I got to do all this stupid shop commons and dibdit shit.
Yeah, you gotta do your work. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We got a podcast comment that said, "If you have low self-esteem, don't watch this
That was
podcast.
funny.
You will leave crying and calling for your mommy." Why? I don't get that.
Hey, I was right. It is 2:55.
What's 2:55?
And we beat
Your
the
age?
Dave and Carrie episode.
What are you
What's he
talking
talking about?
It's
I don't know.
155.
Is he having another episode?
Episode 155. Forget it.
What is he
You
saying,
asked
guys?
what episode it was. So I
Oh.
told you it's 155.
Touch your nose with your pinky, Kevin.
That's how long it took Kevin to process that question. It took him
No, I said
51 minutes to be
155 when
like,
you asked me the question, but then since I was going to the comments,
Call the
I
old
looked it
police.
up. Hey, speaking of,
Old
so
fart alert.
last week I put in a request for a time to start the podcast, and nobody responds, and I'm supposed to assume that everybody's in agreement. And this week, Carrie puts it in, so I purposely didn't respond. I get here early just to see, and I still have to bend to your will at 10 o'clock.
Whose will?
I was left out of the decision-making process again.
I wasn't gonna.
You need to
I
understand
just
your
want to make sure I
role
got
in
back
the
in
group.
time.
Kevin, you need to understand
Oh, I
your
got
role in
it.
the
I
group.
got it.
Your role in the
Just
group
roll with
is
the
to
punches. I
bring
got it.
us audience to our trash.
You are here for the viewers.
We personally
And I'm
don't like you,
transactional?
but you help us
Oh,
fiscally,
Man,
personally.
We
you
love
cetera, et
Kevin.
cetera.
We don't
Go
like him. We
unsub.
love
Don't
him
unsub
like a
from the
brother.
podcast. Go unsub from one of the cottage cheese channels.
Yeah, you can unsub from that.
NC Builder. Nobody's watching it anyway.
Kevin's actively launching a campaign against the cottage cheese channel because he's afraid it's going to catch him.
Yeah,
He's
he
afraid.
doesn't
He's a
like
little
that.
scared.
I hope it does, Dave.
He's a little scared. He's
That
like,
way you can keep your house and still have less stress.
Well, that's what I was telling Tina. I was like, even if I had infinite money, I still don't think I'd keep this house.
Yeah,
Because
that's good.
I
That's
just
a good
am not in
frame of
love with
mind.
it. Yeah, I just am not like I don't love all the
Bigger
extra
isn't
space,
always better, they say.
Exactly.
Dave.
Like it's also like the family's all very far apart from each other. I feel like a cozy kind of smaller house would be nice. It would be good for the family.
Have you asked the kids that? They'd be like, nope.
Okay, so I have not talked to Callie and Eli, but they also are totally cool with change. Elijah hates his room because it's always hot. It's a hot room. And Anna is the one who loves her room. She's got the fancy bougie room that she paid her brother for and all that stuff. And I talked to her about it, and she's like,
funny.
and I was like, listen, I know you invested a bunch of money on your room. She bought the paint. She bought everything for her room. And I said, if we were to move, I would give you some of that cash back because she wants to save up and get a chihuahua anyways. And when she thought about it that way, that she'd get some money, she was like, yeah, that'd be fine. That'd be fine, yeah. So she's okay with it. Callie and Eli are fine. They don't care.
Are you ready for a Chihuahua though? I had a
Definitely don't want a
Chiweenie for a
Chihuahua.
while, like a half Dachshund, half Chihuahua, and
And a
they're
half-size
interesting.
What did you call it?
A half weenie.
They call him a Chiweenie, a half
No,
Dachshund.
A half what?
Dachshund, right?
Dotson?
Isn't that what a wiener
I thought
dog
it was
is?
like a Dotson, like a.
Is it a Dotson? Did I say it wrong? I might have said it wrong. I don't know.
It's
do
a
you say it?
dachshund.
Dachshund.
Oh, is it a Dachshund? I thought it's a
Yes, but
Dachshund.
my wife says dachshund.
Kevin's very familiar with dogs and their final yelps.
Well, it's German.
Too soon.
Whoa, I thought we
But-
retired that.
Sorry.
Yes, seriously.
Well, Mike,
Did you see
Mike
the
made a
I
message
forgot
how
about
he
recent
cried.
events.
I gotta
I'm
read
sorry.
Mike Metco was like moved by us moving on from
Yes,
that.
that's what I was gonna read, and
And
Dave just ruined it.
you
Cancel
can't
this
do that.
podcast.
Yeah, dude. I think we should talk about the Will Smith slap. It's time.
yes.
It's time.
Goodness. All right, here
He's
it is.
part of the Illuminati. They made him do that. TikTok
That
told
is-
us.
Dave and Carrie.
Illuminati,
This is addressed to Dave and to Carrie. I have always
Derry
had
is
the
our
utmost.
celeb.
this
Derry
is-
is our celebrity couple name.
I have always had the utmost respect and admiration for you two
Thank you.
with what you do on this podcast. That's a little odd statement.
What we
right
have to
there
put
begin
up with.
Your ribbing of Kevin has always been in good fun and never spirited and serious. Despite all of the heat that you guys have received from some of your detractors, you continue the bit. Even, but I never had more capital letters, more respect for you two guys than on this episode when Dave leaned in and softly offered his condolences to Kevin for the loss of Sophie. In a rare moment of seriousness, true,
That is rare.
Yeah,
Yes.
that is rare.
Usually
He
our
showed
seriousness
all
is
of
not
us.
recorded.
He
He
farted
showed
immediately
all of us.
after we had to edit that out.
you showed all of us who you really are. The real Dave,
I'm
a
sorry.
The real
sensitive
Dave. It's
Trying to keep
terrible.
it
individual.
It's draconian. Stay away from it.
Then Carrie chimed in, and when he said that he will retire the dead dog joke, well, I broke down
Oh.
almost as badly as I did when Kevin showed his old video of his beloved poo.
Now, okay, so
And now
we've
you ruined
now
it.
confirmed. Nope,
Yeah,
we've now
no, yeah.
confirmed.
No, you
Carrie
confirmed.
said he would,
Yeah.
back on.
That's why I
didn't
had to
do.
fight back against your joke because you're
Okay,
right. I can't
fine.
unilaterally retire something.
It's hard to just
Without your
retire a
discussion.
joke that fast. It takes time. You got to get it
Because
out
we
of your
have to
brain.
get it out of our
takes a minute.
system.
We're
Okay,
trying.
when we look at Kevin,
We're gonna be better.
It's hard
We
not
see
to
the
just make
darkness in
jokes.
his eyes, and we.
we want to expose the darkness. We'll just have to find new creative ways to do so.
Oh
Okay,
my goodness!
I was talking about something else. I forgot what it was though.
If you don't
This is
know, we're
called a
screwed.
podcast.
We're gonna sit here wait for you to lead us.
Can the whistle, every time we blow the whistle, it just is me calling Kevin old? That's just what it's gonna mean from now on. Episode 400, he'll say something, I'll just be like, and you'll
You
know.
should learn.
Everyone will know.
You should learn to play soothing music
Instead
with
of
your whistle.
saying the dead dog joke, you just
Yeah.
blow the whistle instead,
And they'll know
it'll
it
be like a
means
dog whistle.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Dog
exactly.
was killed when
Those
this
who
was
know
blown.
know.
We love dogs. We would never hurt dogs.
We do love dogs.
Yeah.
Oh, my
I'm being a
goodness.
carrier.
I
I
had
corrected instantly.
Hey, going back to resellers are awful. I've had a series, and this happens every once in a while, but it seemed to happen a bunch. Why do you always have to ask for a discount? Why do you always? So, what
Yeah.
would you reply?
Why?
Oh, I reply to that comment all the time. Usually I said something like, I enjoy it. I want to get the cheapest price possible. I'm trying
I
to
like
profit
money.
as much as possible. Things like that.
I like
But
money.
also,
This one-
for me, it's like a sport. I love bartering. It's
I hate
fun for
bartering.
me.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Carrie
totally.
hates it, but I love
I
it.
really dislike it.
Yeah. And it actually
You're not
hates
really
you, too. It
bartering,
told me.
but-
Barter told me.
Gotcha.
So I don't like that Carrie guy.
There are times I do it though instinctually because I want something bad enough and I know I can't pay what they're
Dawn
asking.
won't let him buy it, so he has to barter. Dawn's like, no, Carrie. And he's like, dang it, I've got to barter. He's not saying
You
anything.
got to
'cause I've
remember,
seen this
man. My
happen.
dad was the barter king.
I know,
We would
I
go to
remember.
Tijuana, man, and he would barter for sport, and he humiliated me because I'm like, just buy the watch. It's like $20.
He
and
would get two hookers
would-
for the price of one in Tijuana.
allegedly.
Carrie, this one's for you.
Allegedly. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Thanks, Paul.
Whoa.
Thanks.
Whoa.
You don't even have to marry this one, Carrie.
Oh my gosh.
This
Shots
show is
fired.
terrible. Carrie, I have a
It's
TikTok at
negotiating,
980,000 views.
Do you have a
Hang
TikTok with what?
980K views from today.
Oh, from
Really?
today?
Yeah, my TikTok's been dead, but this one kind of blew up randomly.
Holy moly!
Yeah. And it was
That's
just
awesome.
Rod telling me to stop playing in rat feces and then me going off on how much I love rat feces. I don't know. Like I was saying I wanted to eat it. People seem to really enjoy it.
Yeah.
They're really into that kind
I just I'm I'm going to say you know me well enough not to do that joke around me.
So what am I gonna make on that, Carrie? You're the TikTok money master. If I get 1,000,000
980,
views,
you'll
will I
probably
get
get
90
40.
bucks?
You'll get 35 to 40% of them being official views.
Okay.
Like ones you
Yep.
get paid for, and you'll make like 350 to $400.
Thank you, Rod. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Rod, should I send him a little bit? Rod, I'll send you 20
No.
bucks, buddy.
No.
Coming your way.
Don't start sending Rod money because
again.
then we'll always have to send Rod money.
Yeah, because he does a lot for us.
He
Rod
does.
is probably like.
We want Rod's
here's,
help free.
I would say, and I don't know, Kevin, you might think that this isn't true, but I think Rod is like one of the most selfless in our group.
Yeah.
Like
I
as far
would
as people who
say-
like without looking for anything in return just want to
Like if there's
help
like a
people.
Rod from like a range from Rod being selfless and Kevin being the most selfish, he's all the way
pretty
full
selfish,
Rod.
and I take it
You
for
are. You're
granted,
closer
and I
to
have
Kevin
to like
than
remind myself, like, oh, Rod is being super selfless, and I'm just like
Yeah.
taking it without
Yeah.
even thanking him. And
So
Rod is a very
I would
selfless
say
guy.
that
It's
Mike,
rude to question it. You just accept it.
Mike
and
is
Rod
pretty
are
selfless
both
too.
very
yeah.
selfless. But Rod is extremely selfless. There's no
Yes.
doubt about it. Mike
Yeah.
is too, but he has his limits. You
Yes.
can't cross them
Yeah.
because he's
Yeah.
got these
You've
principles.
tried.
Yep.
You got these principles, so you can't. Only
Pesky
take it so far.
Like you say, pesky principles.
Although Rod has reminded me, he's
Nerd
reminded me
principles?
that my most popular Commonwealth Flipper video is
It's
with
his.
him on it, and he
Yeah.
constantly is like, "How much have you made off of that? How much have you made off of that? How much have you made off of that video?" So I'm like, is it really selfless if you're reminding me of how
he
you did me
doesn't
a
want
favor?
money. He just wants the offer of money.
He just, he wants to know
you to
that you're.
humble yourself to the point where you're like, Rod,
That's right.
here's $20. But Kevin won't do it.
No.
Kevin won't be giving back at all.
No.
Anyone who comes to the Commonwealth cabin for his little, Commonwealth party
Exactly.
to do a video, he ain't giving
There doesn't
you
need to be a
penny.
tip jar in every room of your house, Kevin.
Yeah, why would we tip you when we have to get our own food? It doesn't make sense.
Seriously, he has like one of those like units he carries around just
He
like
made
for
me
his
cook, the little credit card thing, and he's like,
Yeah,
he
he
makes me
just
swipe,
carries
and he's
that
like,
around. He's
tip,
like,
and I'm like, dude, I literally cooked for you, Kevin, and you're asking me to tip you.
So I'm gonna put you down for 18%.
Well, 18's actually required, but if you want to go higher,
It
you
is
can
in the
add
bill.
that.
I think you should actually try bartering at a yard sale, Dave. An actual barter. You
Tell
should
me about
like.
that.
I'll give. Well,
you
bartering is not.
Oh yeah, bartering. Yeah,
negotiating.
you're right. That's not the right word.
I think
Barter
you should,
bartering
like,
is like
bring
trading,
something
right?
Barter's
with you
trading. That's probably been
that somebody
annoying
might
people.
want. It would be a funny. It would like you bring in like a an NES system and
You gotta
you
bring
try to
something good,
trade
though.
it
What
for
pack
something.
of portable underpants?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got
there
this
you
little pack
go.
of portable undies.
That would
and
be
you
a
can have
funny
it.
video. That'd probably be a good TikTok too. It's like, hey, I don't have any money, but I really want this. Would you take this X? That would be funny.
Well, yeah, that's pretty good. So I went to a yard sale, okay, on Saturday. My mom was with me. And she's with me, and we go to this community sale. We get there at 7:20. It starts at 8. So we're pretty early. We're aggressively early. I'm like, man, we're kind of early. She's like, well, drive around the neighborhood and let's see, how it looks, and we'll see if anyone looks done. No one really looked done. Everyone was still setting up. So I park near the sale that I feel like is going to be the best sale. It's like at the end of the line, and they look like they're bringing out some good stuff. I feel like I see some Disney and stuff. But she's like, let's not get out yet. We're too early. I'm like, all right, we can wait a little bit, And it gets to like 7:30. I'm like, Mom, I'm feeling like we should go. We should jump out. Like, I feel like the other resellers are gonna start showing up. She's like, let's give them a little longer. They're still setting up.
Because you're not selfless. Truly selfless.
Well,
person
yeah,
would
she was
let.
practicing kindness and stuff, and she wanted them to get also. She's very nice, and I'm like, okay, dude, of course. And everyone knows how the story ends. Another reseller rolls up. Instantly hops out of their car, does not hesitate at all, goes straight to the Disney pins,
just
and I'm like,
starts yelling, pops a Zin, just doesn't even care.
He's a friend of the show. He's a friend of the show, and I've met him many times. But I see him, and I'm like, "This is a reseller." I'm like, "What's he gonna do?" He gets right out of his car and goes right up there, and I'm like, "I should have just done it 10 minutes ago." Because now I will say he was super nice. He actually shared the wealth. Like he did go and grab these really cool like limited edition paintings that sell for like $60 a piece. I think he got 5 of them. And he paid $3 a piece, and he got first dibs at the Disney pins. He got a bunch of them, and I think he said he collects them. I don't think he sells them. But then afterwards, he did say, "Hey, Dave, you can try to get them all." And
that's how you get a deal, though, at yard sales. You say you collect them, or like me and Don, where we pretend we have children.
I don't think he was lying. I don't think he was lying, and it worked out because I think he made
just
several
say
$100s. I made several $100s, so we both won. It was fine, but in the
Just
end,
say
it was
you
like.
collect them and then listen. You collect them for a little while and then you sell them.
But Kevin, I thought of that story earlier. We went on a whole diatribe, but when we were saying some people think resellers are obnoxious, I think part of that is showing up at 7:20 a.m. to an 8 o'clock
That is
sale.
honestly
knocking
kind
on
of
a door,
obnoxious.
knocking on a door the night before a sale and saying, "Hey, I saw your ad." Messaging someone saying, "Hey, I'll come now." Like, I think people think that's obnoxious of resellers.
Oh, I
We
would.
do
I wouldn't
it.
sell
I
to
don't say
people
I'm
who did that
against
to
it,
me.
but
Because
people
if I
do
say I'm
it.
starting a yard sale at 9, it ain't starting to 10:30 anyway.
Well, that's
So if
true.
they're there at
That would be
7:30
obnoxious.
and waking
But it
me
is
up,
like it's self-perpetuating because you can't be always the nice reseller shows up at 8, or you end up getting not as good as stuff.
well, maybe,
Amen.
And so
but
even
you
if you
also
don't
just have
think
that
that's
feeling
nice-
of
So
like
what
you're
you
a good
do,
dude.
it's just ask them. Ask
Yeah.
them. Be the first
Yeah.
one there and pull up and just say, "Hey, I know you're not ready. Do you mind if I look?" If they're at all hesitant, just say, "Hey, don't worry about it."
Well, but
if
some
they're like,
people-
"Oh, come on, let's go," then come on and
there's
let's
that.
go.
And you have to have a good measure of people because some people will say yes even if the answer is no.
Yeah.
Some
Right,
people are
that's
not
why I said without
You have
comfortable-
to
any
emphasize the fact
hesitancy.
that they're not
Yeah.
ready. Maybe they haven't priced stuff, or
You
are
gotta
we doing
read the
that so
way
we
they
can get better
answer you.
deals because they're not prepared to?
Yeah.
I mean, you get.
I've
But
had
anyways,
people
I
be
can see
like,
why some people would
"Yeah,"
not
they're
like
They him and
resellers.
haw and stuff, and it's like, I'm not gonna pressure you. I'm like, don't worry, I'll sit in my car.
But
You
then,
know?
dude, another reseller is going to show up a minute later and just barge in.
No,
I,
no.
I don't
what
like
When
when
another
resellers.
reseller shows up, I'm getting out of my car.
So,
I don't
Carrie,
like when they
I
back
wanna
out of
know.
deals. That pisses me off.
Yeah, those
Okay,
guys
coin
are
guys.
just
Carrie,
trash.
so I want to know. So a lot of times you're going to come with me yard sailing, but
Yes.
let's say a day like today were to happen and you weren't with me. This guy had a garage full of sports stuff.
Yeah.
Like 50 bobbleheads, jerseys. He had sports cards signed by something Griffey Jr. All this like fancy stuff, right?
Kin?
Yeah, sure, whatever. Had all this fancy stuff, and like I
You're
was sitting
making
there.
that up. You would have sent me a
Albert.
picture if that was Albert Griffey
Griffey.
Jr.
No, he did. He said he had a card. I'm pretty sure it was signed by Ken Griffey Jr. You were sleeping. What's the point of texting you?
Just
And he-
buy it.
But no, he said I don't even know. I'd have to look it up on eBay to figure out what I'm
There
going to
you
sell
go.
it for.
Yeah.
So I didn't think it was even worth.
Yeah,
the
that's
time.
a red flag.
Yeah.
Speaking of
But-
Carrie and being unrelatable,
Mhm.
Carrie does this video and he's buying a bunch of autographed cards and he's getting them cheap, half off. And
Yeah.
Carrie says on the video, "Hey, this is perfect. My people buy these. My people buy these off of me.
Yeah,
My
Kevin, why do you-
people."
They belong to you, Carrie. Really?
No, they're like we're like a tribe.
no.
I know that we can't.
They all
like,
belong
we're
to
like,
Kevin.
No, we're
Don't
like my
take his
people, like
people.
the people who. Yeah. No, it's look. I actually, believe it or not, I was like, I wish I kind of worded that different, but I couldn't really take it out at that point. So
That's why I don't like fans.
It's like when I'm
Viewers,
around
they're
you and you're
viewers,
always
they're
saying
viewers.
fans, but you're like always
Because Dave doesn't
correcting it
have
when you're on
fans.
camera.
They're not fans.
Listen,
They're
there was a
viewers.
lady who
He
came
has
up to me at a
detractors.
yard sale,
That's right.
and I'm telling you, she was in tears, and she said, "I want to thank you. You've changed my life,
Wow.
and you've been so inspirational for you when I was in a down spot." And she was basically, her
okay.
eyes were watering. So there's some people who.
And then
are
what did you
changing.
do? Did you like? So am I getting this for $2 or what? lady?
No, she was a buyer. She was a buyer. I just said thank you. It was very nice of her. Oh, Kevin, what's going on with your lighting? Anyways, Carrie, the question I was going to lead into was,
Yes.
okay, so if you live here,
Yes.
most of the time you're going to be too lazy to wake up.
Well,
Do I call you and you come out to that yard
Well,
sale?
first
Like
off,
I
you're-
tell Dawn to get you up?
You know what happens when you assume? You make an assume out of
Assumption.
me.
You make an assumption. No, I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like, literally, if you decided to sleep in that day, do I
I'm
call
not going
Dawn
to. I'm gonna
and
be up
have
at
her
the-
wake you up?
Yes, if
Yeah,
I
you
were, but
just-
I would already
no.
be by your side, having waited outside your house until you were ready that morning.
Yeah,
That's
That's
fair.
what's going to happen.
What you do is you make a
fair.
plan, and then when he doesn't show up, you don't.
How many
call him.
times? How many times when we have hung out have I been late for garage sale? When we have been together,
Never.
I'm
Not once.
never late
not
when we're
one
together.
Time, yeah. I
The
have been
problem
late
is when
once.
when it's just me and Dawn
Yeah.
chilling. I'm like, listen, girl, tomorrow, next week. That's the
And
problem.
she's a total enabler too.
Well, no,
she's a total
she had
enabler.
10 years of pushing me, and I'm
Yeah.
just
She
like,
doesn't
I'm
want to
done.
let.
She's
Carrie
given up.
doesn't want to let Dave down, but he's got no problem letting Dawn down.
Yeah. Well,
None.
Yeah, every time she looks at him, she's a little let down. Mhm. There he is.
No,
My
but if that
guy.
did
Feeling
if that did happen, like I'm just used to being around, so I'm just like not having to be there on time or something. Then just call me, yeah. And I would wake up and I would be ready right away and I would get right there.
Yeah, I could do that. Right now, I feel like I can't because generally it's like 4 a.m. your time. 5 a.m. your time. It's a little.
That
hard
is really
to-
a problem.
Yeah.
But as you know, if it's 4 or 5 a.m., I'm probably up.
It's fair, yeah. You're still staying up that late though, or are you
No,
going to bed
no,
at like
no.
3,
I'm
2 or
going
3?
to bed. Trying to go to. I mean, I go to bed about 2ish, but like
Yeah, I
I don't
assume 2
always
or
fall
3 for
asleep.
you.
I've
Yeah.
been trying to go to bed a little earlier because I find it harder and harder to get up on Saturday mornings to go
At your
out
age,
because
it
I've
is
been
hard to
staying
get up. Yeah,
It is hard to
I've
get
heard
up.
that.
But
Yep.
that brings up the sponsor of today's episode, Extends.
Cialis. Oh,
Oh,
we
is it
got Hims
Extends?
as well. We got 3.
Yeah, Hims.
Oh,
We got
hey now.
3 different boner-related sponsors.
Oh my gosh.
Look,
Now that we have
when
three
you want to get it up
40-year-olds,
and you
yeah.
can't get it up, folks, think of Kevin and order some
God.
Hims.
There's only one reselling podcast that needs these pills more than us 40-year-olds, and you guys
Yes.
got to figure out who they are.
Who are they?
Dun, dun,
Think about it.
dun.
Think about it.
Two old
Think
guys.
about it.
2 old guys podcast. No,
That could be one of them. They are old.
Hey, so Trash to Cash Orlando Bash. Got it all
Part
locked
due.
in. Got it all locked in, Kevin.
Part due.
You actually are paying. I got your card info. I got your logins and all that stuff. And yeah, I'm really looking
He
forward
only
to
uses, cashier's checks.
I was surprised when he said he wanted to do Texas Day Brazil for every meal of the event, but
Yeah,
Look,
dude, I
Kevin
ate
cares
so much,
too
I was
much.
Sick. I can't do that. I'm just like a once every decade kind of trip for me.
trip. Yeah, the food was good, man. The food was good.
Are we doing like a darkness retreat for this Trash to Cash meetup?
What
Or
is
we're
a
just gonna
darkness retreat?
That's
What
where
is
we go
this?
and we're just sitting in darkness all around each other, and then we just we probably take some ayahuasca or something, and then we just become one
Take
with
some
nature and
what?
reselling.
Oh.
I don't know what ayahuasca is. I think it's a liquid or something you smoke. I don't know, but I know people do it.
Hey, we asked a lot of people about their feedback, and a lot of people have 100% feedback, more than I thought, unless those are the ones who are willing to say it, right?
Look, listen,
So-
have you ever
so-
met somebody who has 100% feedback that doesn't talk about it
That's true.
all the
Yeah,
time?
That's a good point.
Think
It's just
about
skewed.
that.
There's no control.
I
in
would
this thing.
listen. I
That
want to
becomes
say
your personality.
when it comes to feedback, I would read our held for reviews, but it looks like Kevin has removed a bunch of things, and I won't call
Yep.
him out. I won't call him out on the things he's
Yep.
removing during the show.
I will give you I'll give you an update on that in a minute. But
Okay.
Silver Hair Stacker. My feedback
Yes.
is 99.9% with negative
A lot
about
of people were doing
the
that,
time
giving
off.
us their feedback, and I don't remember asking, but
100%.
we must have because we got that a lot.
We did. I just want to emphasize, it doesn't matter, guys.
No, it
Stop
doesn't.
Stop
doesn't.
it. Stop. I mean,
Well,
it matters if you're 91%.
We
If
were
you're
talking
at
about
Philly
it.
Flippers level or below, allegedly, then it's going to be an issue.
Oh gosh.
Okay, someone said, "Oh my
99.5.
gosh, I just heard one of you say you sold a Chuck E. Cheese plush for $300 in a day. I'm a huge collector."
Yeah,
I hope
we
it
were at
wasn't the
we were at
78-inch
Webster, and
one.
I told Dave, I'd like check out that Chuck E. Cheese plush.
They said, "I hope it wasn't the 78-inch one because you could have gotten 1,000." It was not 78 inches, was it, Carrie? It was like 4 foot. That big.
I can't
Chuck E.
really
Cheese.
tell the
3 to
difference
4
between
foot.
a couple inches and
78 inches
Who
is like
knows?
your height.
So do you think
Was it as
you
tall as
undersold
No, it wasn't
it,
that
Dave?
tall.
It wasn't that
Do you
big.
think you undersold it?
No, not really. I think
No.
it wasn't that big one. It wasn't that big one. I came upon a really cool. Did you see the picture I sent you of the Kermit the Frog plush I got?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
60 inches tall. It's enormous.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've got a
Is
giant
that life
Wile E.
size, or is that
Coyote
how
up
big
there.
Kermit actually is? 60 inches tall.
I called it life size in my listing, but I feel like he's not really that. What's Kevin doing?
I don't know what he's doing.
Carrie, entertain the people. I want to go get Kermit.
Okay, we're gonna get Kermit. Well, I gotta entertain because Kevin right now is just doing it. He's doing different artistic shots right now. I don't know. He's giving us different angles.
Speaking of artistic, I did a thumbnail and title that I thought I did it hoping, dang, that thing is
that is
gigantic.
bigger than Dave. We were at the theme park.
Jeez.
We were at the theme park on all the kids' rides, and we thought, Dave's the right size for this the whole time.
not easy
how
being
big this
green.
is. Look at this.
Is he
Yeah.
floating?
He's huge.
It's nice.
He's very cool.
Just
I've never
imagine if
seen
you had a
anything like
Miss
that.
Piggy to go with it.
I overpaid a little bit, maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna list it. I listed it super high, like $150 or something.
What'd you
'cause there's
pay?
Not really
$300?
comps. I paid 12 or 13, maybe.
$13?
Yeah.
You didn't overpay. 12, $13. How'd you overpay?
Would you?
You could have
Kevin,
paid
would you have
30
bought that for
and made.
13 if you saw it?
I would have paid 20. I would have paid probably 25. Honestly, I probably would have.
Okay. Carrie would have paid 20. Kevin, would you have paid 20?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's a cool item. It's a cool item. I also got a Keebler elf that's like 4 feet tall at that same sale.
That's for the collection. Though, right?
That's
It's gonna be
that's
like
over
the
my
new
budget.
Fox.
Yeah.
New
Let's go
Fox
in the
things
Keebler
come
collection.
So
You know-
you get
Go ahead.
people that criticize, the sales, and this person was being nice. So, but on your picking videos, you must get, you walk past this item, you walk past this to buy this trash, you walk past whatever. But a lot of times, and I don't take the time to point it out all the time, but I do sometimes, is like, why are you walking past this, this, and this to get to this? It's because items that people perceive as valuable, they're going to put a heavy price on it. So I see the prices a lot of times, and I go on to the weird item that has value that nobody thinks has value, and people wonder why you pass all these other things on the table. But it's usually because of price.
Yeah, that's 100% true. Like, I have the habit of not even asking sometimes when it's a valuable item, and I'm just assuming that they're going to be ridiculous, and that's my problem. But I don't ask enough.
Somebody yell at me because I was digging through. This is with you, Carrie. It was 127. That video came out today, by the way.
Oh, cool.
You were pretty funny at the end of it. You should watch it.
I'm sure I was. Yeah.
So you said something like, you bought a bunch of cards, and you're like, yeah, they're not really worth anything, but I'm going to make a lot of money opening them.
It's the truth.
Carrie, that's not very relatable. You do say that a lot.
But it's honest. It's honest.
It's honest.
Yeah,
You're content daddy first.
You don't want people to think, I got to get 88 Donruss. It's going to make me a fortune because Carrie bought it. You got to tell the truth.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Because he's buying that particular item for content. So I don't, it's not a problem. But anyways, I was looking through a tub full of silverware, and it was all junk. It was all stainless and whatever. But I found 2 pieces that were sterling, and then I showed them on the video, and I left. And they're like, "Oh, you're dumb. You should have sat there forever and dug through the bin." And I'm like, "Dude, I did sit here forever and dig through the bin. I didn't put it on the video.
I'll be honest.
Boring video."
That's one thing when I get out on the East Coast, Kev, that I think, honestly, you've inspired me a little bit. I want to start finding a little bit of gold and silver. Yeah. I want to actually think about it, because right now I don't think about it.
Yeah,
I want to actually start being that, because as you get older, that's what older pickers do. They're always looking at gold and silver stuff. Seriously.
Which must mean that it's probably the best thing to be looking for.
Yeah, honestly. No, you're 100% right. Because it's the thing you can get. Yeah, Kevin's obsessed with jarts. I don't even know how you get rid of jarts.
Jarts on every single video.
You can't even get rid of them legally.
It's on one video. One. I actually have done it on
There's
2
one
videos.
deadly toy he used to play with as a kid, and he can't forget about it.
No, but Kevin, you have to remember all the times you're digging through totes and talking to yourself, and you're like, "I wish there were some jarts in here." That's like every other video.
Dude, don't they know this Taylor Swift?
Don't they know this is Jart Daddy?
Oh,
give Jart Daddy some jarts.
Someone fan art, please. Jart Daddy. Jart Daddy.
Jart Daddy fan art, please. just Kevin, completely naked,
all his hands are full of them,
holding only a very phallic jart. That's all he's holding.
I want him in a jart costume, and he's just like, "I'm your jart daddy."
Oh my gosh!
You're gonna,
hey. It's the Taylor Swift thing. I felt, why would you ever look for her stuff? I'm unsubscribing from you. I'm like, dude, I'm looking for it because it's worth $100.
Wait, she creates an emotion of unsubscribe. Why is that?
For some people. Oh, well, She made some political stances. So if you ever make the political stance, it's like
of any sort,
you just alienate half your audience.
Yeah, that's true. That's valid.
Speaking of alienating half your audience, it is football season too, and I see these wild swings. Like when a game starts, it's like, because most of the, I don't know what your analytics are, but the majority of most of this content viewers is slightly a majority of men. Depending on
Rod's at the Bucks game. I think they won, didn't they?
Nice. Oh, I had another comment about.
Do you know what sport that is, Dave?
I want to
football.
Football, yes, the soccer variety.
I want to give some context for Rod being selfless, because
do we have time?
He's selfless with you, Dave. He's really selfless with me. He's not selfless with Mike. See, he goes to a yard sale and he sees these great video games. He ain't letting Mike touch.
That's like two negative sides of the magnet. They just kind of push apart because
they're like a married couple. It's hilarious. I'm like, dude, what the heck? Yeah, no. These two are like, but they're good buddies. But it is totally different relationship. So Mike is Rod selfless with you is the question.
But don't Mike and Rod? Who are Mike and Rod's Rod?
Do your kids like
they have
Mike,
any?
Kevin? Do your kids like Mike? Let's get into that part of the show.
My kids love Mike.
Oh, dude, my kids
They
were
love him.
not. They don't dislike him or hate him, but
Really?
he's like a little too coarse for them. I think it's the Gen X thing because I'm like very
Oh, they
nice and
love
sweet to
Mike.
my kids,
They love
and
Yeah.
he is tough. Like he called Annabelle an idiot at some point on our little boat trip and stuff, and she has not let it go, Mike.
Yeah, he's
She
like
is upset about it
yeah.
still. She's like,
see, Kevin's Gen X
I told
too,
her I was
but
like,
Kevin's
Mike's not actually coming this weekend. She's like, good. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, we're not afraid to, if they do
Yeah,
something.
yeah. I think
Bluer's
it's the Gen
mom
X
will be
thing.
like,
She's
Turner,
got
don't be an
millennial
idiot.
parents. Yeah, she's got millennial parents, and she's not used to the Gen X coarseness that Mike.
Well, maybe
lets
she
out.
needs a little of that. See,
Maybe,
I've got an
maybe it'll be
uncle.
good for it.
I
Maybe it's
talk
good
about
to
all
call
my
your kid an
uncles,
idiot. I should.
but we got an Uncle Paul, right? You got an Uncle Paul,
Yeah.
and we got all
Paul
these
Philly Flipper. Yep.
Uncle Paul is the kind
Paul, Philly
that
Flipper.
Turner at 6 years old would be like, still believe in that Santa crap, do you?
Oh, guys, Santa is real. Kevin is just making a joke.
yeah, exactly, guys.
Sorry, Mike.
Santa
Don't
is
believe
if
anything
you're
Uncle Paul
if you're
says.
watching or listening
Mike
to this with your
Camporelli, do
young
not
children,
listen to Kevin's lies.
if you are watching this or listening with your young children, Santa,
I've learned
why
this with
is real.
teachers that want their students to like them and play the kids hate them.
Hmm.
The teacher that acts like, I don't care what you
Dude,
think
know what,
about
though?
me. And
My
then later
kids
on,
are
they
in
really do
love
care.
with Philly
Yeah.
Flipper. They're in love with Philly Flipper, which is a
Yeah.
Gen Z. So they love
Well, the
the
problem's with
Gen
your
Z
kids.
guy.
He's not
They
Gen
like
Z.
Gen
He's
Z.
like young millennial, isn't he?
He would be.
Gen
I
Z's
think
like
he's
20s still, dude.
Paul's kind of like bigger than life, then, so it's a different kind of,
Gen Z is currently 12 to 27. How old's Paul?
Paul's like
30.
he's in
20
between
he was in
32 and 52. I'm not
31.
sure.
Okay, so
I
he's a
think
super
31.
young
I think
millennial.
that's right.
then.
Paul, how old are you?
He's
Yeah,
a
he's
super
a young
millennial.
millennial. We are elder millennials, Dave, and
Yes,
Kevin
that I knew.
is
Kevin
the
is
silent generation.
Octogenarian generation, whatever that
That's
is. Yes.
pre-greatest generation.
No,
for
wait, we're
those
going to look it
wondering.
up. Kevin is WW2 generation, 1922 to 27.
He is WWJD. He is from 2,000 years ago.
Dude, there's Boomer 1s and Boomer 2. Boomer 2 is also known as Generation Jones. That's 55
Why
to
Jones?
64. That's my mom.
That's
Why
amazing.
Jones,
too.
though? What does that even mean?
I don't know.
What are
Keeping
the
up with the
real
Joneses,
ones?
maybe?
Like what are the real?
I'm telling you, Kevin.
Nobody says that. That's like, come
What,
on.
boomers?
Well, like people who study like
Well,
population
and all these
stuff,
people,
dude.
it's like is elderly. I mean, really, is this what we're calling? What happened to Gen Y? Wasn't there a Gen Y
Yeah.
or something?
There
I
was.
remember
That
vaguely the
disappeared?
Gen Y. It disappeared. Yeah, I don't know what happened to it.
Here's
but
the
it's
thing.
gone.
Elder millennials, here's how you know if you're an elder millennial. You played Oregon Trail in school, but then you also were determining who were in your top 8 on MySpace.
Mhm.
That's how you know.
Tom was there.
Tom was
in there.
always in my top 8.
So
Did
what
you
am I
see-
for real?
You're a
you're a younger Gen Xer.
77.
You're
Yeah.
Gen X. Yeah,
You're Gen X, but they're younger Gen X though. He's not
Yeah,
like
he's a
because
young
Gen
Gen
X
X.
started in 64, I think.
65 to 80. 65 to 80 is Gen X.
So you're like
Gen
similar
X.
to us, honestly, as much as we give you crap. But the difference
you
is like
guys
you
ever-
listened to like lame hair metal and we didn't.
Mhm.
We
Did
listened
you
to
ever-
pop punk.
Your girlfriend did.
What?
Yo, Dawn, yeah. Oh,
yeah.
I relate to
Well,
none of the
Dawn's my
music
It's
age.
like
Dawn
Motley
liked from back.
Crue, all that stuff.
I saw
Carrie's
Motley
sitting there with his
Crue.
Creed soundtrack.
Dude, that
No,
reminds
dude,
me. I gotta
they're
come up
great.
with a good. I might go with. Turner likes it. I turn on the old stuff, and because Turner, like Reagan, wouldn't listen to the stuff I do, but Turner, like when we go on the road trips, he'll be like, "Yeah, I like this." I'm like, "Cool."
Are you guys aware that there's a song called "Skibbity Toilet," like an actual song?
Yes, my kids play it often.
Yeah, I'm with the grandkids, and they're playing "Skibbity Toilet" a lot.
Oh, look, I like this comment on Kevin's latest video from Not Quite Over the Hill. 9. Yes, I'm reading your comments right now, Kevin.
Thank you, Dave.
Someone said, "Why do you look over other pickers' purchases? Seems like a self-tease."
Mm-hmm. And what was my response?
I'm going to answer your question. The reason he does that is because he wants their content. He wants a longer video to show off their sales so that when they do their videos, they get less views because Kevin already showed off their views. Or their items.
That's not true.
Kevin's out to hurt other resellers.
No,
and
I'm out
he's just
to
a
help
malicious human
resellers.
being.
And
Is that like a label daddy label on your shirt? Did
Wait
you
a
actually
minute.
print that with your brother printer?
Me?
Yeah. What does
No.
that say?
This is Hurley.
Oh, okay.
So I'll tell you why I do it. I do it because other pickers pick stuff that I don't pick, and it exposes me to what they're buying, and because of that, exposes other
But
people to
you
stuff.
would see it even if you didn't record
I
it.
learned. I
How
know,
bad
but
is my sound
everybody
now?
else
I
wouldn't see
took
it.
my headphones out.
And I had questions about it. Tim found a pair of old wire glasses, and he looked them up, and they were gold. They were 10-karat gold.
How much were they
And I
worth?
wanted people to know that those old glasses, some of them, most of them are 1/10, but some of them can be real gold. Hey, speaking of which, I wanted to mention this. I got to
But
figure
don't
out
you
what
get
it's
like
going for.
annoyed by the old gold guy at the sale, the old jewelry
Yeah.
guy? I kind of get annoyed by him. Like
That old
he's-
jewelry guy's got more money than us.
You say
so
gory?
no.
You say
Yeah,
gory?
Yeah, but
Is that
it's
like a
like-
term for the Gen X?
Is that like under a floorboard,
Where my
like under his
auctions
bed,
at?
because he doesn't believe in banks or something?
Like so, Carrie. When I was doing the Disney pin, he's a fine guy. He's very nice, but he just always comes up to say, like, "Got any jewelry?" And they say no, inevitably, and he's like, "Old silver? No."
And he
Old
leaves.
gold? No.
But
he
that ought to
asks-
tell you something.
This guy asks like 30 different ways, like any antique things, like things that might be silver and people don't realize it, like any old bowls, any old, like he digs in
Yeah.
and digs in and digs in and digs in.
But
and
that
he, like,
should
just
tell
won't
you
leave.
something.
Yeah,
There's
it
a
tells me
lot of
something.
money in it.
I never doubted.
If that's
that there was
all you
money
look
in
for.
precious metals, Kevin.
Well, you don't look for it.
Bath and Body Hurts, Kevin.
That's
Bath
why.
and-
You don't
That's
look
why
for
I'm
it.
stocking up on palladium, because
Dude.
that stuff is going
yes.
through the roof.
Yep.
I just listed this thing, and that much gold right there. It's already on auction for $220.
It's on auction, or it's someone bid it to 200.
5 grams. It's already it's been bidded. It's been.
Why
bidded.
did you just say the word $5,000?
grams
Oh,
weight?
grams. I thought you said $5,000. I was like, what are you talking about?
Why are you so familiar with grams and the weight ratio for grams?
I like to bump lines. Dave told me.
Okay.
Wow.
That was Dave
Clip
said
it!
That's a
Clip it,
refreshing-
folks!
a
Clip it!
refreshing moment of clarity and truth. I love it.
Clip Kevin's most honest moment of the week.
Dave, he said that in the last podcast.
I
Hey,
would
check
never say
these
something
out
like
right
that.
here. I also found.
What
Look
a
at all
mess.
these. This is all
We're not here to
sterling
judge
silver. $1 a piece for sterling silver jewelry. Last
How much
week,
is it worth?
2 weeks
Like,
ago.
Is silver at what, 24? 25?
Well,
We're getting to the
silver,
part of the
these
show
not
where
like-
Kevin's just being annoying.
This is worth more than just the weight of the silver because it's actually decent jewelry. But there you go.
How many
And that was
bracelets
look.
today?
I was having a bad week picking, and we're running out of sales. So I started digging for stuff, and if you start digging, you'll find it.
You adapted to the situation.
People were
Like,
giving
I
me a
thought-
hard
adapted.
time, Kevin,
Carrie-
about wearing a long sleeve shirt. Now you're wearing one. Is it cold
Carrie,
up there?
you would. It's a little chilly tonight when I can't start the podcast till 10 o'clock at night because Carrie's off with something. I don't know what he's doing.
Spending time with my
some
family at a
girl
theme park,
named
Kevin.
Dawn
Yeah,
at
it
a
was
theme
like-
park. Who else went with you?
What are you doing all day, Kevin, that it matters? I mean,
Working.
I'm just kidding. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
Working.
I was
actually
with-
ended up
I was
watching
with
multiple
Shadow.
movies.
You know,
I
remember
had
Shadow,
to
right?
hang out at
And the
Awana
kids.
up the street to get them things somehow. Somebody's
you
got to
had
get them.
go- the kids' vests. You just said you were trolling the Awana group.
You
for their
said
vests.
I still
I never said
forget
anything
it.
like that.
Oh my
Bumping
gosh.
lines, beating up children. I don't know what this
I don't know
guy's
what you're
alluding
saying,
to.
man. I feel like you're having
It's late in the
dreams and
show.
then like saying you heard it from us. And then
How
expressing
come I
your
can't
true
find my
thoughts.
auctions? Don't the auctions normally show up? Auctions that have bids? Maybe that's only on my phone.
Guys,
Maybe
comment
your auctions
below
don't
and
have
let
bids.
Kevin know why he can't find his auctions. Are we even talking about like eBay? What are we?
Can you
what
tell
platform
Kevin how to
are we
turn
Yes,
his
talking
TV
about
on too
eBay.
while you're there?
Here they are. I got them on here. It's not on the. That's weird. It's on your phone, but it's not on your other one. Like items that have bids. And now I got no signal, so it's not going to matter.
on? Well, Kevin.
How did you know? How could you see it if it had no signal?
That's a good point. I pulled it up. There, I can see it right
So
here.
it's spotty signal. Okay.
See, it says bids received too.
Is that what that means?
Maybe it's because that app was open to that screen when I opened the phone. It was already on there from upstairs.